Streaming. This PC starts messing me around, I'm gonna go nuts. It's doing my nutting. Oh, mine's clicked across. Okay, so we should be up and running.
A bit of sound.
Fingers crossed. Doing my nutting.
Yeah.
So,
I know the comments already.
yeah, they've been commenting while you were going for a sheet. So we're on episode 3. We're on transfers, although that's been pretty much dead this week. I do apologise if there is a little stall here and there, guys, but it's because my PC is having an absolute brain fart for some reason this evening. I sound a bit quiet.
I apologise for any coughing as well. It did sound quiet. I had to turn it fully up.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and I apologise for any coughing, loud breathing, or anything. Got a bit of a cold.
Jakey's got a cold. Wow, my PC's having a doomer here. I just noticed it dropped frames then. No, it's not that.
Stream's just paused. Or is it my phone?
Nah, it might well be the stream, mate. Like I say, my PC's having a fucking doomer.
Hello, Jade Matrix. Hello, Boop Bap. Hello, Fuzz9043. How are you all doing?
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Cheers.
The old sat. Oh my god.
I'm doing well. I got a little bit of a cold with Jade Matrix. I don't know how Chewy is doing.
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Probably do a bit better if his computer was working.
Yeah, if the computer was working nice, then it would be a lot better. But yeah, I am not too bad. I'm not too bad. Suppression. Alright, let's turn that up a bit. Fingers crossed that's better for you guys. I don't know if you can hear it or not, Jakey.
Let me just.
Quite a bit. Yeah, I do apologise for stream lag. I don't know what the hell's going on my PC, guys. It's having an absolute doomer. I don't know why. Literally, I came home and started trying to watch some match of the day, and it kept buffering. I thought that it might just be that's okay now by the sounds of it. Good at the moment. Right, okay, so hopefully we're all good, guys. I do apologise if the stream does lag a little bit. As I said, break. It's being an anus, but it is being an anus nonetheless. The next. Hey, there we go. Right. Let's get the next screen up before it has another episode. So, obviously, as usual, guys, we are going to kick off with the transfers of this week. Just froze a little bit again, yeah. Yeah, Jakey's going camping. I'm hoping that this stream's going to be settling down soon, because it's doing my head in. Anyway, on to transfers, which has been pretty poo this week. I literally have 2 that I could find to put up on our little screen.
Well, I just go through. I think possibly 2 castles done.
I believe that was already done.
I think Guilty Sigerson breaking.
Yeah, that's stream. Right. Yeah, so I haven't bothered putting that up because obviously we kind of reported on that anyway.
But the one today is testing from THFG.
See, no, I thought that was done. I thought we reported on that last week.
I can't remember.
I have a funny feeling that. Let me just double check. Transfers. I think we streamed on the 16th, didn't we?
Stream 16th. But
so yeah, Rodriguez on loan.
Ah.
Rodriguez on loan was actually a done deal before the Hosselu, Stoke to Newcastle Hosselu. So it looks like I'm pretty sure we did. We did cover Hesse, who is a fucking absolute beast, by the way. Very impressed with him. I like him. So yeah, we definitely done. So yeah, apart from that, it's been pretty poo for the old. Yeah, it's having a doom. Oh no, it's come back in. The packets look okay. The stream looks okay. So yeah, I haven't really got a lot for this section this week, guys, because it's been pretty poor.
I'm just looking. Gabriel Palisa.
Yeah, there's a few outs. There's a few outs. That's apparently 10 million. Now, I don't really understand it because, as it stands right now, we're struggling at centre half, as everybody probably knows in the world. Hey Torres, how you? Yeah, so. Taking a blow to the Swadi. Rob Holding and Mustafi now. So I'm a little bit sceptical of why we would think it's a good idea to... I mean, we've got. Is it really a good move to get rid of another centre-half? And let's be fair, there's no link to us buying one either. So that's another worrying factor. Obviously, we'll get on to positions and who played where and whatnot when we actually get to the Stoke Arsenal game. But for me, it's an absolute strange one. Getting rid of it. But hey, yeah, Paulista has gone.
And to Birmingham.
Reece, what's his name? Oh man, I can't remember his second name.
Reece Nelson.
Yeah, Reece Nelson. We've just given him a full-term contract, and to be perfectly honest with you, he is miles better than Jenkinson. He is a fantastic young player, and he's right back anyway. So Carl Jenkinson probably wouldn't get in the squad anyway. So I don't really mind that one. And as for Bramwell, he's another young guy, mate. He's been out on loan a few times now. So yeah, they're all typical Arsenal loaney type players, to be honest. Yeah, I know it's lagging, main man. It seems to be my PC. Voices and everything, yeah, it's having a doomer, Jakey. It's having a doomer. We shall soldier on. Hopefully it won't lag. If I've got the video, what I'll do is I'll replay the stream back. If the stream's that bad, then I'll upload the video instead. Hopefully that won't be too bad. Yeah, my PC seems. You know, like we're talking, like the green lines literally just freeze. It's doing my fucking nutting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. So then I've got Jose Izquierdo.
Yeah, which is obviously one of the pictures I've got here, the Brighton fella.
Yeah, undisclosed, reported 13.5 million.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this fella, I've got to be perfectly honest.
Club Brugge, he was playing in First Division A. What's the First Division A?
This is the top league. Is Belgian, isn't it? So
yeah, it was the top league. I thought because he played for a different league, but that's all right. I'm not sure when he finished last season.
Is it Jose Izquierdo from Club Brugge to Brighton for 13.5? I mean, that's a hell of a price tag to pay for Brighton, isn't it? You know, so this fella must
played
be
28,
decent.
Scored 14 last season, so he scored a goal every other game.
Yeah, so did Tom Inso from the wing. I don't know where this player.
Left winger.
Oh, he's a left winger as well. Fair dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 13.5 is quite extravagant. So I'm guessing he's going to be a decent player. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's like because obviously I've never heard of the fella. And well, apart from that, guys, literally the only other one we've got here. I don't know what you're seeing, Jakey, but the only one I could find was Chris Wood from Leeds to Burnley.
Chris Wood.
Which is obviously
reported at 15 million.
Yeah, 15 million reported, which is obviously the other fella that we've got in our little screen here. I mean, apart from that, it's been pretty pretty torrid in the old transfers, to be honest, this week,
It's been a bit
guys.
quiet this week, but it's
really
coming up to deadline day soon. So
deadline day is going to be a fun one for us. I think me and Jakey are going to be on transfers for a ton of time on that week,
So,
deadline day.
Since joining Leeds, he scored 44 goals in 88 appearances since joining from Leicester in July 2015.
Yeah, mate. I mean, the boy can score goals. I've looked at a few of Chris Wood's stats more than anybody. I mean,
yeah,
I would say Burnley definitely need another forward anyway. I mean, Vokes.
Is it?
League Cup today, is it?
Oh. Must be. Hurry up, since Birmingham have beaten Bournemouth 1-0 and Fulham. Oh.
I was going to say, really weird. Really apologise, guys. Yeah, my PC's having an absolute doomer. Should be back on now. So I presume it's probably an internet thing as well. Let me just see if I can get an internet test up just to see what we're running here. Just before we report on anything else. Speed checker. Because yeah, my internet, well, my no, I don't want that one. My PC's having a bit of a doomer anyway, without the internet being a pain. I mean, I've got a funny feeling the internet must be being a pain as well, unless it is just some sort of process that's running.
Yeah. I think in the minute it's saying the stream is running.
Yeah, we're doing a stream test. Just testing my internet a sec, monkey. Wow, it is so slow, mate. It's only just meg I've ever seen. Oh wait, no, dropped down to 20. Oh no, it's gone completely. Oh, there we go. So it's about 24, so that's pretty shit, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm definitely having internet issues. Good old Virgin. My upload speed's pretty good. It's about 10 meg, but yeah, 20 meg on download. That's not great. It's not great, but it's better than some. Wait, what? Yeah. Man United champion? No, Man United aren't champions. They aren't champions. Still only week 2. Still only week 2. You've got to be patient, Mikey. Yeah, anyway. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell. You're just going to have to bear with the stream tonight, guys. It seems like it's going to be a bit of an anus for me. My PC's having a bit of a hissy fit. Yeah. My Virgin's having a bit of a hissy fit by the looks of things. So I do apologise in advance if there is any lag. If it is that bad when I watch it back, I will have a little watch back.
Yeah.
And then... the weird thing is, it's not dropping packets, so it is actually overload. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoder. What the fuck does that mean?
What?
Bear with me. Let's have a look here. Video. The output's currently out. Please turn off. That's really, really weird. Yeah, I don't really understand it. I don't think it is anything to do with OBS itself. I mean, OBS keeps giving me the warning that there's an encoding overload, but prior to this, I wasn't even streaming or anything. I was just trying to watch Match of the Day on BBC iPlayer, and even that, I thought it was buffering. I thought it was my internet. It turns out it's probably actually my PC being an absolute slut. Anyway, transfers. We ain't got anything else for transfers, have we? That's pretty much it. Just
I got a couple more out. Sammy and Nasri to Antalyaspor or something like that for rising to.
They already pretty much released him anyway, didn't they? They pretty much said that he was surplus to requirements. So that doesn't surprise me for Nasri. 3.2 million though. How bad is that, man?
And then Ismail Benaka from Arsenal to Empoli undisclosed. All I got was a young player. So I don't know if you've heard of him. Okay.
What was his name again?
Ismail Benaka? He's a midfielder.
I've never heard of him, mate. So he's obviously
19-year-old Algeria international. Spent 2
he's
years.
obviously not that good because I've not heard of him. So he's obviously not played pre-season or anything like that. So he can't be that good.
He played once against Sheffield Wednesday in a League Cup match, and he played the second half of last season on loan to Tours in France.
Okay. Yep, so he's shit. See you later, mate. Have a good one. Anything else, Jakey? Have you got anything else there? I'm pretty sure that this is going to be
no, not like I can see.
Quick transfers this week, guys. So, moving swiftly on then to some Gossipo. And I've got to be honest with you guys, I have not kept up with Gossipo at all this week.
Nor have I.
I can't even have a look. Because my PC's been an anus! Okay, Jakey's probably got some for you guys just while we're waiting for my PC to decide it's going to do anything.
Tottenham are close to agreement with PSG to sign defender Sergio Aurier. Now, we've spoken about this on the last 2 weeks. Still not gone through, though. So,
yeah, that's been going on a while now, that one, isn't it? That has been going on a long while.
Next one up.
Oh, there's a nice one. Ox to hold Arsenal talks. I'm happy about that. I think it would be an absolute travesty if we lost the Ox this season, or next season, to be perfectly honest. I think he's fit into that right wing back role extremely well. I know that Bellerin can play it as well, but Ox has been great there. Okay, so Saints have signed Wesley Hoyt. I'm not sure who this fella is, but from AZ Alkmaar. So this is one that's literally just been done. Got done at 7:45 this evening.
So is that confirmed deal? Is it?
Confirmed deal. Southampton have announced the signing of Dutch international centre back Wesley Hoyt. That probably tells me that Van Dijk's going to be moving because he's handed a request in, hasn't he, Van Dijk? So that probably says
that's probably what we're waiting for.
So they've obviously got this Wesley Hoyt in, and I think that Van Dijk will probably be leaving. Did you discuss yesterday's match with Everton? No, we haven't discussed any foosball games as of yet, Mr. Florlas. We will be getting there, my furry friend. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. What else have we got? Oh, Swansea are pursuing a deal for PSV Eindhoven fullback Santiago Arias.
Oh yeah, I recognise that guy.
Colombian international.
I've used him quite a bit on FIFA. He's got a bit of pace on him. I don't know what he's like in real life.
Rivaling Chelsea and Tottenham. I'm not being funny with it. If you're Arias, the last club you want after you, if Chelsea and Tottenham are after you, is fucking Swansea right now. But there you go. Let's see if we can find any like really sexy stuff here. Just scrolling through a bit of the old Sky Sports EO. I mean, I know that Jakey will have a few up on the old BBC.
Spain striker Diego Costa has been ordered by Atletico Madrid to make peace with Chelsea before they consider buying him for 25 million.
Costa?
And also, Diego Costa, and apparently he's also got removal men at his Surrey home.
Yeah, he wants out, doesn't he? I mean, it's simple as that. There's obviously some sort of ongoings that have been going on between him and Conte. I think the boy should go now. I don't fucking personally like him anyway. I think he's an absolute disaster for the Premier League. Just think he's just an angry, horrible bastard. I have got one here that Norwich have signed Morgos from Arsenal. Again, no idea who he is. 19-year-old established himself at under 18 level for Arsenal.
Oh, I think I saw that Savas Morgos or something like that, isn't it? Yeah, I think I skipped over that one.
Skipping that as well. It's only because I saw the Arsenal badge. I was like, oh, is it a centre half? No, because we are not that clever. What else have we got here?
Virgil van Dijk has been pictured training with the club's under-23 side.
Really?
Yeah. Chelsea only bid for Van Dijk to get the go-ahead from Southampton.
Okay, so obviously we were just talking about Diego Costa, man. I've got here, Monaco and Marseille have expressed an interest in signing Chelsea's rebel striker Diego Costa. That surprised me because I'm pretty sure he's on, like almost on a dead cert path to Atletico Madrid, right?
Yeah, that's what I said anyway.
Really, really surprises me. I don't care about Italians, who the Italians are signing. Apparently Spurs have still got the interest in Barkley, but I've got to be honest, guys, I think that's going to go right down to the very, very wire. Barcelona have announced that they are suing Neymar for a breach of contract, saying they're owed 8.5 million from last year's renewal bonus.
I
mean, fair play. Like, if he's been given 8.5 million euros for a renewal bonus, then obviously, in my personal opinion, he should probably give it back, right?
Yeah, they're charging him that and then 10% for late payment.
I mean, the 198 million obviously wasn't enough for Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck me. They want that extra €8. That extra 8 million euros. I mean, that won't even buy Barcelona a player. I mean, really? If I was Neymar as well, I'm pretty sure he'd be on a hell of a whack. Just give it him, man. Don't make it go to court. Just fucking give it him, for Christ's sake. You absolute sausage feeler. That whole Neymar debacle is just another one that's going to just keep on running on and on. I just think it's an absolute shocker. I mean, he's pretty much done that under the noses of Barcelona. And I'm not being funny, mate, but like, if that was me and I was a professional footballer, yeah, like, I would respect the club that's been paying my wages for the last 6 years or whatever it is. You know, at the end of the day, I think that is absolutely disgusting what he's done to Barcelona. Admittedly, if you don't want to be there, let's do things by the book. Let's hand our transfer request in so they're fully aware you want to go. Then speak to PSG if they've obviously approached and the club allows it. Then fuck off. I mean, he pretty much paid his own transfer fee and whatever else, like we discussed last week anyway. But yeah, absolute travesty. I think the whole Neymar debacle, I've lost a lot of respect for Neymar just purely because of what he's done.
I never had anything for him. I've not really been a fan of him. He's one of those players, I think, it's just
mate, I don't...
I mean, he's a great
good.
Player. He's fucking amazing.
Great player, but I'm with you, mate.
I mean, he basically got knocked out. I mean, he got hit on the head with a bottle. It wasn't even like a cap or anything. It was just a bottle. He was just rolling around the floor for 5 minutes.
Brazilians, though, innit? Rivaldo done it as well, didn't he, in the World Cup? Do you remember
that was...
Hey, movie guy, how you doing?
That was
hey,
just
Shabs,
after he went and celebrated in front of the... He went and celebrated in front of the opposition fans, and he'd been giving it to them all game.
And threw a plastic bottle at him.
I think he can play. Yeah. So he was rolling around for like 5 minutes.
I've heard of this fella. Crystal Palace are reportedly set to make a bid for RB Leipzig's Oliver Burke. I've heard of this fella. The Scottish international. There you go.
Oliver Burke. I signed him on FIFA one. I think when I was Newport County. Yeah, I signed him then. He's a right winger. They signed him from Nottingham Forest, I think. He's done really well over there.
They're looking to have to pay around 15 million for him. I mean, that's quite extravagant for a Scottish international. I mean, no disrespect to Scotland, but it's quite a lot of money for a Scottish player, isn't it?
I think, what was his name again? Oliver Burke.
I mean, when I first read it there, I thought that Oliver Burke, I don't know why, but I thought he might have been German, but yeah, Scottish international apparently.
He's 20.
He's only 20 as well. Wow, okay.
He's about 4 months younger than me.
Is he playing first team football for the international squad?
I'll have a look quickly.
Curious.
He's played 5 games for the Scotland international team since 2016.
How many? 5? That's still not bad for a 20-year-old, mate. I mean, I know Scotland.
So that's gonna be virtually every game since the start of last season. Virtually, not. I'm not saying
I don't know what news you've got there. But I've got some breaking news here that we understand that Davison Sanchez is having his medical ahead of club record move to Spurs. So obviously this is one that we reported on for the last 2 weeks as well. The Davison Sanchez centre half from Ajax to Spurs. It looks like they finally made headway on that, and he is actually having his medical at Spurs now. So I'm pretty sure that will probably be one of our signings for next week. That looks like that'll pretty much go through within the next couple of days. Don't care what Barcelona are doing because this is the Premier League talk show right here. Oh, hello. Okay, so Hull are close on Torrell. Is that a loan deal? We understand Arsenal's John Torrell is presently undergoing a medical at Hull. He's a good little player, mate. Another young guy, mate, but very, very good player. Torrell is.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
I've not actually heard of him. I've got here Man City have given up on signing West Brom's Johnny Evans.
Yeah, I saw that.
And will bid instead for Middlesbrough Ben Gibson.
Yeah, I saw that actually, mate. I think I might have read that this morning.
At 20 million. He's 24. I think he was close to England. I think he did get called up to the England team, actually, Ben Gibson. He just didn't play.
like we reported last week, mate, I think it's like you said about that. You have to have like 4 British Isles or whatever it is in your squad or whatever it is. So it must...
Trained in England before the 21 or something.
It must be that, like you say, they're looking for an English squad player. I mean, surely if they're not going to play him, does it really matter? Why don't they just go and fucking get a championship side player or something like that? Do you know what I mean? And save their money. Or, I know Middlesbrough are championship, but like Ben Gibson's probably still going to fetch quite a bit of Sponduli, you know? You know, why don't they just go and get anybody? You know, anybody that just wants to sit and get paid to do pretty much nothing, which a lot of these footballers these days do. You know, I think they could probably get near enough anybody. You know, that low down.
Yeah, I suppose so. They just want someone that they can use again.
It's the backup, I suppose, isn't it? Because obviously you don't want to buy him and then him not be ready, available, I suppose. So, again, though, mate, it's just another one of these typical, like, let's be fair, if they get Ben Gibson, like you say, mate, he was on the fringe of getting in the England squad. So, if he goes there, literally they're just going to destroy his career, aren't they? A bit like, what's his name? Routledge. Routledge? Not Routledge. Who's the Everton guy they signed? It is... Oh, for God's sake.
Everton guy? Oh, Stones.
No, prior to that.
No.
He moved to Sunderland in the end. God, I can't remember his name. Flawless might know.
Everton, Lescott?
No, not Lescott. He played a lot, didn't he, Lescott? Oh, what is his name? He was a young guy, mate. He's like a half-caste sort of guy. Very, very tall. Plays centre of the park. Usually a holding position. They signed him from Everton for quite a hefty money. Never played him. Basically killed his career. He's now playing for Sunderland. Or he was playing for Sunderland the back end of last season, I'm sure of it. Same with Fabian Delph. Rodwell, that's the Badger. Rodwell. I mean, they killed his career because he was on the verge of England as well. Fabian Delph, mate, I thought he was fantastic at Villa. Should never have signed for City because he must have known he wasn't going to get in that City squad. Either that or he's extremely deluded. I just think that they've taken a hell of a lot of these young English players, mate. Obviously for this squad ruling that they've got, mate, it was alright as well for a bit. Okay, it's reconnected. Woo! Okay, who else we got here? Be better to get someone that could do a job if needed. Yep, I totally agree. I took it back quite quickly, ads. Tired as hell and hurting. Oh man, what's up, movie guy? How's it going, Kai? How you doing, dude? I know Evans is a good player, but I would prefer investing in Phil Jagielka. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to invest in him. I think they're just going to kill their careers, man. I mean, Jagielka's obviously pretty much past it now. Anyway, what's he? Wrong side of 30, isn't he? 32, is he? 35. Oh, that is old. Played terrible for Sunderland and didn't win a game for them. Yeah, I know, but this is what I'm saying though, ads. I think they killed Rodwell. I really do think that Rodwell at Everton was a sick player. Like, he was starting every game. He was on the fringe of getting in the England squad. Signed for City, and his career just plummeted. Same with Fabian Delph. Got in the England side, signed for City. Admittedly, he still played a few England games while under City. But now where is he? You know, I'm pretty sure that Gareth Southgate probably doesn't even put him in the mixer. You know? Is Matt Ritchie English, by the way?
No.
That's such a shame. I'll tell you what, that boy is quality. Absolutely quality.
Yeah. I got another one we reported on last week.
Sorry, we're supposed to be doing...
West Ham edging closer to William Carvalho.
Oh, they're actually edging closer to that now, are they?
25. Yeah. And Bilic has also said he's got enough central defenders despite Winston Reid getting injured.
I don't really know how depthy the West Ham squad is, to be perfectly honest with you. But,
I'm not sure, to be honest, but that was all in the same bit of gossip.
Oh, hello. So, some interesting gossip. Apparently, the Thomas Lemar move from Monaco to Arsenal is back on. Monaco already sold. He's not a centre-back. You're absolutely right, and I think I'd much rather a centre-back right now. However, I go back to last week, I believe I said it was, when I said that we should probably sell Sanchez and replace Sanchez now.
Yeah.
I think that's probably that idea, mate. I think if we sign Lemar, I think Sanchez will leave. I do believe that we'll probably cash in on Sanchez. But do we need to spend that much on a winger? Probably not. If he's determined that Sanchez is not going, then I don't think that our midfield is an issue that we need to worry about right now. Or not the wing side, anyway. We've got plenty of them, and they're all relatively similar, and they're all relatively decent. I believe that our holding midfielders, that needs looking at massively. Either that or fucking do something. Give bloody Coughlin some miracle spray or something to get him fit again. Because shit me, Xhaka. But we'll go into that when we report on Stoke and Arsenal. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm quite surprised. That's the first time I've seen that report in a few days, actually, mate. It was massively reported a while back. Okay, so apparently the Coutinho chase has finished as well. Barcelona have decided that they've admitted defeat on that. I'm guessing they've turned down a ridiculous amount of. Oh, there you go. The final offer was apparently around 118 million. So there you go. That's a man standing firm right there.
Apparently, I've got here on BBC, Barcelona forward Lionel Messi had a role in preventing Liverpool playmaker Felipe Coutinho's move to a new camp. He did not want either Rakitic or Sergio Roberto used as make-weights in any deal for the 25-year-old Brazilian. But then straight underneath, we've also got Barcelona will make a fresh attempt to sign Coutinho when club officials attend the Champions League and Europa League draws along with their Liverpool counterparts.
See, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, isn't it? So, like, it is massively, these rumours, guys, and this gossip that we do is literally... it's literally like it can change all the time. Like they almost contradict themselves. I don't know if anybody has ever used the website News Now, but if you do like News Now, if you put into Google News Now and your club that you support, right, and you just go through like those headlines that are on there, it basically feeds in all the like forum posts and God knows what else into one place. So you've got like an easy clickable website that you can go and read like these forum posts and news and stuff like that. Now it's relatively good, but I've got to be honest, Arsenal are linked with literally every man, their dog, and the fucking poo bags that come with the dog, and I don't think I have ever seen their reports be right. So this gossip is only as good as it gets, you know.
I mean, the gossip, all of it has got a source in search of papers or whatever. And both of those two come from different papers. One from the Liverpool Echo and the other one from the Mirror. Yeah. If that means anything.
I mean, if it said the Sun, then I'd pretty much say that you might as well just cancel it. Are you back now, are you, Cade?
No, I take my shoes off.
You want to take your shoes off? Okay, guys, my boy's just come back.
It's bedtime now.
Is it bedtime now, is it?
Yes.
Daddy's talking to some people about football.
Oh, okay.
Do you like football?
Blue football.
You like the blue football? What team do you like, Cade?
Blue football.
I know you like blue football, but what team is the blue football that you like?
Blue.
Blue, okay. Yeah, he likes the blue Arsenal away shirt, so...
Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah! They didn't do very well on the weekend, though, did they, Cade? No. Even Cade knows, and he's 4, goddammit, Wenger! Right, yeah, so... I think he's lost all confidence in his ability. Who was that we were talking about? Is that Rodwell? Or Jagielka? Can we speak about how good Lukaku is now? We're getting there, Tyler, okay? We're getting there. Chewy, even though I'm 14, I can buy scratch cards. Well, aren't you a lucky boy, Kai?
Mommy,
I hope you win big. How good is Man United? Is as a unit, not just Lukaku. To be honest, Flores, you're absolutely right. But we're going to get to that, guys. We're still doing some gossip, goddamn you. Right, what did I see just then?
I want to talk
about Wilshire's been playing for the under-23s and he's been sent off.
Have you seen that? It was a bit stupid. I mean, the tackle was a naughty tackle. The guy came in from behind and kicked him after he passed the ball. But Wilshire got up,
you want to talk football?
And then moved his head towards if he was going to headbutt him.
What do you want to talk football about?
Talk blue.
You want to talk about blue? Yeah, but Arsenal played in pink this week.
Okay. I want to sound like that.
What, you want to talk to Jake?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, this is new, guys. This is a new thing for the show. Cade is going to talk football with Jake. Maybe we're going to turn this into the Cade and Jakey talk football. Okay, come and sit on Daddy's lap. I'll give you the headphones and you can talk football with Jake quickly, okay?
Okay. Hello. Hello, Jake.
Hello. Hiya. You right?
Going to backwards?
Do you like the blue football? Yeah. Is it the Arsenal kit? Is it? Yeah. Do you like that one? Do you?
Yeah. I like blue purple.
Do you like blue football? Do you think Arsenal are going to win the league this year? Yeah. Who do you reckon's going to come second? Later. Okay.
It's bedtime.
It's bedtime, is it?
It's bedtime.
Have you got to get bed now, BK?
It's bedtime.
It's bedtime now.
So that's it. No more football talk from Cade this week, then.
Okay.
Okay, night, Cade.
Good night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jakey's in stitches here. Good night, Jake.
Good night, Jake.
He says good night, Cade, alright?
Where's that Bible?
It's true, so
brilliant. Well, that was the quickest football talk you're ever gonna hear with Jakey. Oh God, bless him. He's a funny kid, guys. He's a funny kid, and he does for some reason he does love the football. I tell you who loves the football more though, and that's my little girl. She loves it, man. To the point that I was watching. Who was I watching? It was on Sunday. I think it might have been the Newcastle and Huddersfield game. I think we put it on just like before we went out. I think I watched like the first 20 minutes. And Soph turned it over to put one of her programmes on. My little girl went mental, mate. She turned around. She was eating her lunch, right? She turned around. She went, "No, mummy, put the football on." I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I looked at Soph and I was like, well, she called it. See you later, Daddy boy. Have a good night, man. Stream over. It's bedtime. Chewy, your kid is amazing. He is brilliant. He is brilliant. Movie guy. He's a funny old boy.
I don't think much of his predictions. He thinks Arsenal's going to win the league.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, I don't think much of his predictions either. Bet the Chelsea man trying to talk. I was joking. Yeah, I kind of guessed that, Daddy boy. Kate said it was bedtime, so everyone thought it was bedtime. Joy just spat my drink out. Honestly, it was so funny when she done it, mate. I literally just turned to Sophie and was like, "Well, at least it is. Elisa wants to watch it. I guess we have to watch it." It was brilliant. Sophie just looked at me and was like, "No, Elisa, Mummy's program." Oh, it was brilliant. Anyway, right, some more gossip.
I've only got one more bit of gossip, and that's Ryan Sessegnon. I think we spoke about him last week. He was supposed to move to Tottenham. I've got Man United also looking at him now this week.
I did read that this week, mate. I don't know from where. Oh, I've just...
it's on Sky Sports,
yes,
actually.
It might well have been. I have just got another one here from Sky Sports, mate. Brighton have confirmed a deal to sign Ghana international Rafael Daumena, subject to a work permit. So it looks like Brighton are actually on the move to make... That's from FC Zurich, which I believe are Swiss. He scored 2 goals from 5 Swiss Super League appearances this season. Wait, so they're buying someone just off this season's performance? Okay.
I mean, you on Sky is probably the best thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be fair. Oh, pardon me. We are struggling with stuff here, aren't we? Plymouth have signed Celtic.
I think that is everything I've got.
Sifty.
Nadir Shifty.
Fair enough, on loan. We're not reporting about Plymouth though, even though Green Army. Get on you, Janner.
Fucking
now, Jakey. By the way, guys, me and Jakey couldn't have been any further apart when it comes to football teams. I'm an Arsenal fan. Jakey's a United fan. I mean, to be fair, it'd be funnier if he was a Spurs fan. Jakey is also locally. Obviously, we live down in Devon. For those of you that don't know, but I'm a Plymouth fan locally, and I think most of you know that from obviously my Plymouth FIFA career mode. And Jakey is a Torquay United fan. He doesn't get to use Torquay United on FIFA because they don't bother going down that far. As far as FIFA's concerned, those teams don't exist. He might as well sport a Saturday league team.
we were famous this week.
What was that for?
We were the first team to sack their manager.
Wow.
Well,
What the fuck have you?
The first team to lose their manager.
Chewy, you learned her.
You got one draw in the first
can't
four.
Wait tomorrow, I'm going to cinema, watch Annabelle Creation, then going to a Mexican restaurant. Mexican restaurant? What Mexican restaurants are quality in there? Have you been to that one here, Jakey, on the harbour?
I'm not really a fan of foreign food.
Oh, okay.
I go to the Chinese and have egg fried rice.
Alright, fair enough. Don't go to the Mexican one then because you won't like it.
I'm really fussy.
So am I, mate, to be fair, but as I've got older, I've got a lot more sort of like adventurous. So you will get there, I reckon, mate. It just takes a bit of time. Right, well, okay, so that's pretty much it for our gossip of WoW, guys. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a great deal going on. Hopefully, the Lamar one will go a bit further forward. The Ryan Sessegnon one will go a bit further forward to either Spurs or United. Hopefully, we'll have something a little bit more interesting to talk about next week. There's transfers as well. I'm hoping that like some of the clubs do some sort of business this week. I think they will, but it looks like Brighton have already signed 2 that have been confirmed. Well, we had the one confirmed anyway that we've reported on, but it looks like they've just signed another one from FC Zurich. So we should have a few more transfers next week. And obviously we are getting closer to deadline day, so I'm pretty certain the clubs are going to be moving for their targets even further this week. So fingers crossed we will have some more. Hey, how's it going, James Wheeler? Long time no see again, dude. How you doing, mate? Chinese food is like KFC. It isn't Kentucky Fried Cat. Okay, that's a weird one. Okay, so let's move on to our week 1 review. Now, usually mine and Jake's heads here.
Week 2 review, it?
Sorry, yeah, it's because I'm reading. It's because I'm reading my OBS titles, and it still says week 1 because I'm an idiot. So, week 2 review.
I'm playing train steps.
You're gonna go and play with your trains up the stairs?
No, it's too big.
What's too big?
It's too big on the train box.
Oh right, you want the trains to go upstairs, do you? Yeah.
It's too much money.
Well, Mummy's much stronger than Daddy, so you might as well ask her. And Daddy's talking football still. Go ask. Go ask Mummy. Right. So without further ado, let's start our analogies of these. Then I've got to be honest, guys. I had to watch Match of the Day 2, and I've got to be perfectly honest. I do prefer Match of the Day 1. Shows a little bit more highlights. So these, I have got basic stuff, and plus the fact that I had to watch it literally before tonight's show, because I totally forgot that this week I had to do it on Tuesday with Jakey, because he was going away. And he decided to remind me this about lunchtime today, the bastard.
I reminded you.
No, you didn't.
Yesterday.
I'm not calling it. I'm calling it at lunchtime. No, he did remind me yesterday, but there wasn't a hell of a lot we could do. Cade is the best. Can I take him?
I mean, I didn't watch any of it till today.
Yeah, so we might be a little bit slack on our thoughts and processes here, and plus the fact I didn't actually get to see any live football on Sunday. Why was that? I think it's because I think it was raining Sunday, and I think we were trying to entertain the kids. Kids would be in a nightmare. I think we watched a couple of films. Yes, we did. I watched Transformers and a couple of others. You've got to love Transformers, haven't you? So yeah, I mean, I think what we'll do, Jakey, is we'll let you start with the first one, which is obviously Swansea versus Man United, which was a lunchtime kickoff, because I'm sure you've got plenty to say for yourself about this one.
Well, I mean, I've written quite a few notes. I mean, it was a great result for Man United. The first half was a bit dodgy. Swansea were definitely up a bit more for this game than what they were last week.
Definitely agree with that, mate. I think, to be honest with you, although Man United fantastic and 4-0 is a fantastic result, I think it kind of does flatter United a little bit. Because I watched the whole of this game, and literally just at the point when United scored their setting. Mummy's got the batteries.
No.
She has.
Its batteries run out.
I don't think it takes batteries, that one, mate. Yeah, no, this one's not a battery one. We're trying to talk football here. Go take it to Mummy.
No.
She's got the batteries.
No, it's not got batteries anymore.
Mummy's got all the batteries upstairs.
No.
She has. Go ask her.
No, it's in the batteries.
They're not in the drawer. That's where they used to live, but Mummy took them all upstairs. Yes. So literally. Oh, hang on, guys. I think Kate's gonna have a hissy fit. So not do we just talk about football here? You also get to hear Cade have a hissy fit. Cade, If you go to bed, Daddy will bring back to you up in a minute.
No.
Yeah, he will.
No.
He needs to go to bed, and I'm trying to get him to bed. Are you not like playing this game with me right now?
So I'm screaming down in a game in 5 minutes. Batteries.
Good boy. You know what?
He's gonna come down every 5-10 minutes if I don't bring a drink up to him.
No. Go on, off we go, Bubba.
Okay.
Good boy. Yeah. So literally at the point of United scoring their. Literally at the point of United scoring their second, Swansea could have got us goal and actually equalised.
Yeah.
But fair play to United. Once they did get that second, they got the third so quick afterwards.
Yeah. And the fourth was not.
They killed him off, mate.
They said
killed
actually
him off.
on
And that was the telling part of the game for me.
Yeah. They scored the last 3 goals in like 3 minutes and 21
crazy,
seconds.
Mate. They literally killed him off as soon as they did.
But the first one, it took them like 42 minutes. So yeah, what I've got here is the first bit was actually Man United. Swansea cut Man United out. They went to attack and hit the bar. Man United looked really weak. But then that guy we were talking about, that Roque Mesa, the guy that they signed for 11 million from Las Palmas, he made a massive mistake. Gave Lukaku a chance, but he didn't follow up for it. Then I got Pogba getting booked, and then a couple of minutes later, he possibly should have been sent off. Not saying he was, should have been.
Yeah.
It was a couple of little tackles, but I think the reason why he wasn't sent off was literally because it was still early on in the game. I reckon if he'd done that tackle in the second half, if he made that tackle in the second half, he'd definitely been sent off.
I think he would have gone. I think it was an atrocious challenge from Poggers.
Because he made the first tackle, then he done one about 5 minutes later, something like that.
That's right.
Then we got 1-0 from Bailly. Pogba's header was saved by Fabianski onto the bar, and Bailly followed it up on the line.
I'll tell you what, though, what a bullet of a header from Poggers. It was a great header. It's a shame that didn't go in, to be perfectly honest, because Fabianski, unfortunate for him, was left stranded for the follow-up from Bailly, but it was a great header. He was still
on the floor. 2-0 Lukaku. Great run from Martial, despite getting a few tackles. Despite having a few tackles come in on him. The ball fell to Mkhitaryan, who laid it off to Lukaku, and he just finished how he does.
It was a great goal. I'll tell you what, mate, give him the eyes as well.
It was
great goal. Fantastic goal.
Yeah. Man United of old 80 minutes at slow pace and destroyed the team in the last 10 minutes.
I mean, it was all about the counter-attacking football for United. Every single one of their goals came from like a silly mistake from Swansea or lack of looking after the ball. And literally the last 3 especially, literally just counter-attacking football. I mean, they utilised it so well.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the right and left back were doing for Swansea, because so often when you guys were bombing forward, it was 3-on-2. I'm sure 2 of the goals were 3-on-2.
Yeah.
I mean, pick of the litter, effectively.
The last one, I think the Swansea players have got so disheartened they just give it up. The last one, Marcel just sort of walked through.
I have got an interesting fact from the game, though. I don't know if anyone else has got this or heard this, but Lukaku actually had the least amount of touches of any other player on the field.
Fair enough. I mean, looking at the first half, I could expect that because Swansea did look a lot more. But that also tells you
how clinical Lukaku is so far this season. He's had the least amount of touches than any other player on the football field, and he still comes away and scores 2. He did score 2, didn't he?
Only the one.
But,
Bailey, Lukaku, Pogba, and Martial.
Because I thought Pogba's goal was the best one for me, mate. I mean, the punch in front of goal from Pogba to just literally dink it over the keeper. This is fucking ridiculous. And let's be fair, mate. Fabianski is no walkover goalkeeper either. I mean, he has made him look like mincemeat there. It's a great, great goal. But yeah, United, for me, I still think that there are flaws there for sure. Because as I say, Swansea were well in the game at 1-0 down. And as much as I don't take anything away from United so far. Pumping 8 goals in 2 games is a great feat, and I think, to be honest with you, mate, it's a very, very similar scenario to Arsenal again, mate. Again, Man United going forward, brilliant. Difference is, compared to them and Arsenal right now, is they're taking their chances. they ain't squandering too many. You know, they are literally hitting the back of the net. I hope for United's sake that those guys don't start having a drought, because if they do, I think they're going to be in the same boat as Arsenal at the moment. You know, they'll have all the possession, they'll have all the shots in the world, and if they all of a sudden have some sort of drought come in, where 2 or 3 of their boys that are usually scoring have that drought, you know, they're going to be in the same boat as Arsenal, where they just can't kill games off. But again, credit where credit's due. At the moment, United going forward look fucking brilliant. Let's see what they're like when they get a test, because obviously West Ham, we all thought they were going to do well this season. However, they've got a gel yet. They're not gelling yet. I think United were lucky to get them with the first game. I can't see West Ham losing too many more after this week, to be perfectly honest with you. I think they will come strong, West Ham. And obviously, for me, Man United have played what I reckon is going to still be a relegation spot team. You'd expect United to see them off. I think for the only thing United have got to do is try and get through these easy games, keep picking up the points nice and early, and I think they're going to be in a good stature for when they do play some of the bigger teams. But I think that's going to be the big test for them, because they still do look, like you say, mate, they still do look a little bit dodgy at the back end.
Yeah. It's just one of those things you just got to wait and see, to be honest. You got to wait till the game comes out. And I mean, as long as you keep on picking up the 3 points,
exactly
that's
it,
the
mate.
most
I mean, at the end
important
of the day,
thing, and it's something Man United weren't doing
exactly.
last season.
You can't take nothing away from United at the moment for doing that. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of how weak they might well look at the back, the fact of the matter is, mate, doesn't matter. They can only beat who's put in front of them at the end of the day. It doesn't matter that it's Swansea and West Ham, the only 2 teams they've played so far. They have to beat the teams that are in front of them, and they've done that convincingly so far this season. And going forward, mate, I think United look better this season than they have done in a long time. A good 3-4 seasons. They look very, very good going forward.
This is the best they've looked since Ferguson.
I totally agree with that. So yeah, for me, mate, at the moment, I've got to be honest, out of all the teams I've been watching, I know it's still early days, but I would not be surprised if Man United win this Premier League if this form carries on. I really wouldn't. Because everything seems to be working for them so far. Again, alright, they haven't played massively great teams, but that's only because they've played an early stage West Ham. I think when United...
West Ham still got some time,
I think when United play West Ham next, I think it's going to be a much trickier game for them, because I think West Ham are going to be much stronger by that point. But yeah, I think, to be perfectly honest with you, I think United are looking absolutely splendid. I really am happy for United that they're not playing Route 1 football either, mate. They're literally playing counter-attacking football, and I love it. I think it's great. It's Man United of old. I love the fact that they're doing it. We better read some messages. Shearer made a career of that. Least touches, yet scores most goals. Totally agree with that. Lukaku in the first half was nowhere. Like times at Everton, he likes to disappear. He does for us. Only difference is I think he's getting more service at United than he did at Everton. I think that's why he's still banging the goals. And, you know, I mean, 3 goals in 2 games, is it, for Lukaku?
3 goals.
You know, that's fantastic so far. It's a great start. I hate Man United think they're going to win the league after beating 2 mid-relegation team battles. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I say, they've still can only beat the teams that are in front of them, though. You know, like I say, they will get tested for sure when they play someone bigger. You know, and if they still come out on top, the fact of the matter is you're going to have to take your hats off to them. I've never said we'll win the league. All Man United could do is pick up points, and time will tell. Yeah, totally agree. Stoke 1, Bristol City 1. Watford 1, Bristol City 1. Dude. Yeah, Celtic versus Astana as well. Yeah, Danny Boy's just mentioned that. That was a high scoring game, mate. I didn't see Astana scoring 4. I mean, that was a 7-goal for him.
I looked at it, it was 4-1, and then the next time I looked at it, 4-3, and Celtic had already snatched it in the first leg.
It's a great result for Celtic, but I mean, Astana, what great comeback for them. I mean, fair play to them. They give it everything they got. I mean, I don't really know a lot of Astana, but then
it was 5-0 the first leg, actually.
Yeah, 5-0 it was. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So Man United quality again. Let's move on to Bournemouth and Watford then.
Watford.
Where are my Bournemouth and Watford notes?
My first bit I've got is Richarlison, or whatever he was called. He looked very good. He was running the Bournemouth defence ragged most of the game.
Yeah, he is a good player, mate. I don't know if Lukaku played this week because obviously I didn't I didn't see much of the highlights because of match of the day 2, but
he didn't, as far as I'm aware. I was streaming
Danny Boy, by the way,
I was streaming in.
who is
Danny
number
Boy said
29? Who's
the
number
Carter
29,
didn't
Jake?
start.
Who's their second goal scorer?
Is that Richards? Oh, the second goal scorer was Kapui.
Kapui. What a goal that was! It's
That was a brilliant finish.
thunderous strike. That was. What a goal!
Yeah,
literally because of watching match of day 2. Literally, that's all I saw, mate. Was the 2 goals. I don't really have anything else to comment on Bournemouth and Watford. A great result again for Watford. That's 4 points out of 2 games for them. And to be perfectly honest with you, mate, their first points come against Liverpool. I think they're doing really well. 4 points. I mean, if you had said to the manager, look, you've got Liverpool, Bournemouth first 2 games, you can have 4 points out of that. He did snatch that up at the beginning of the season. He didn't play. Oh yeah, so Akaka didn't play. I'm gutted about that. I really like Akaka.
No. I also got there was a point in the game actually where Arthur shouted "Leave it" to Chalobah. Chalobah was running to bang a shot, and Chalobah said that he thought he was cleverly saying "Leave it." Actually, what I've seen as well is that actually it's against the rules to shout "Leave it" when a player's about to shoot.
It's actually obviously being a footballer myself and playing. It's actually against the rules to actually shout "Leave it" full stop, mate. Even if you're saying "leave it" to a teammate, it's physically not allowed. It's due to game in sports conduct, purely because if you shout "leave it," or if "leave it" is an allowed phrase to say, then you could say it to say your opposition that's got his back turned to you that thinks it's a teammate. If you shout "leave it" and he does so, it's unsportsmanlike conduct. I think it can actually get you bookings as well.
Yeah, that's why I said apparently it's supposed to be booked. It should have been a direct free kick.
It's definitely a free kick. "Leave it" is not allowed. If he'd have shouted "Arters" or "My ball, Chalobah," or something like that, then it's fine. It's just the phrase "leave it" is actually physically not allowed. But obviously, we all know the Premier League footballers don't get away with murder because of the amount of fucking foul throws I see week in, week out is absolutely fucking horrendous. I mean, Oxlade-Chamberlain done one against Stoke. It was absolutely terrible. I mean, the Stoke fans went mental, but I'm just like, mate, guys, this happens week in, week out. It's obviously something that they don't practice.
I hate when they have a go at the referees for foul throws. It's like, if you get given a foul throw in the Premier League, your throw must have been shit.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty poor. It was pretty poor. But yeah, "leave it" is a phrase you can't use.
The first goal, I got a great pass to Gray, who put it through the defender's legs to
Richarlison, didn't he?
What's it say? Richarlison, apparently. I've just seen Danny Boy put a thing in there that broke it down. Richarlison, Smith managed to block the ball block it by sitting on the ball. He bounced off of the ball then, and then Richarlison just poked it in the net. And the second one, the defender was pretty poor for it. They were just sort of hedging it up in the air, and it just fell to Kapui, who smashed it first time.
Hats off to Kapui.
He scored some brilliant goals last season as well.
I think he's a good player. I really do.
Yeah.
Good player. Yeah, so I don't really have a hell of a lot.
Who was he at beforehand? Tottenham,
wasn't he?
Mate,
yeah,
Tottenham.
I mean, it was a good signing for Watford as well. I thought when he went to Watford, I thought it was a strange one for Spurs to let him go.
Because that was last season, wasn't it?
I thought it was a strange one.
But they've got so many good centre midfielders now.
That's the problem, is they've got too many. So they've got to release. I mean, they're all about signing Barkley, aren't they? So, they're just going to have even more. I don't think they need any more, mate. They need to think about maybe a forward, because if Kane gets fucking injured, they're screwed, man.
Wow. 6.3 million, which was the club record fee at that time.
There you go. There you go.
I suppose he'd only made 24 appearances for Spurs since arriving in 2013.
Well, there you go. Sounds like he can be a bit of a loose cannon as well, because obviously Danny Boy, being our Watford man, is saying that Kapui had fallen out with the manager, so he thinks that he's earned his place.
Yeah, I just said that, yeah.
Obviously, it sounds like he can be a bit of a loose cannon as well. It's a shame, because he's a great player.
Was that a falling out with Watford manager?
Well, I presume that's what Danny Boy's saying by saying that I think he earned his place back, obviously because of the rocket of a goal.
Yeah.
I think that didn't Decore get injured the first game though? Didn't he take a knock against Liverpool?
I can't remember.
So, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure we reported on that last week. Okay, so let's move on to Burnley and West Brom. Again, mate, I haven't got a hell of a lot because Match of the Day 2 is pretty poor compared to Match of the Day. I'm definitely going to have to start watching Match of the Day more on a Sunday, which is what I did last week. Again, I've got another fantastic stat that will that I'll bring up in a minute. In fact, I've got 2 great stats for this one. That's pretty much all I got.
Everyone at Watford has fallen out with the manager. They all have anger issues.
Oh, fair enough. Sounds like people from Watford, to be honest.
And then I got. So yeah,
Devoy wasn't injured, no. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so I got Burnley, West Brom. Burnley hit the post early on. There was a brilliant ball in from Brady, and then me hits the post.
He probably should have scored that one, yeah.
And I haven't got a great deal much. There wasn't many highlights, actually. It looked like it wasn't
one thing I have got is, okay, so here comes one of the really interesting facts. Robson Carnew's goal was actually the only shot on target that West Brom had in the game. As for Burnley, they had 20 shots in total. No, sorry. Burnley had 20 shots in total, right? But West Brom's shot, or goal, should I say, was the only goal, was the only shot on target in the whole fucking game.
Okay, then, yeah. So that explains what it was.
That would explain why there wasn't very many highlights. So Burnley had 20 shots.
Yeah.
West Brom only had 1 shot, and the only shot they had was the only shot on target in the whole game. No, I'm right, thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So the goal, it was a brilliant run from Robson Carnew. Got past a few of the Burnley. Yeah. Pushed through, and then he slots it past the keeper.
Yes. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. I mean, what he does after...
And then the red card...
Yeah, I was going to say, the red card, what do you think of
it? I wasn't sure. It looked like he was looking at the ball, but I think he must have felt the player behind him. He definitely elbowed him. 100%. I wasn't sure, but my first thought was definitely red.
I don't think so. I don't think he's physically gone for the player. I think it's one of those, you know, when you're half in the air or in the air or whatever, mate, you use your arms for leverage. I don't think that he's physically, and to be fair, it was more of a forearm in the end rather than an elbow. I don't think he's physically gone out of his way to hurt the guy. I've got to be honest, yellow card for sure. You know, you can't flay your arms around, but I don't think he physically has looked at the guy. His eyes were contact with the ball the whole time. I don't think it's red. I really don't think that one's red. However, he has gone. Silly, silly, silly. But I say silly loosely because I don't think it's red.
These things now is if you leave with your arm, you're risking yourself a red card. I mean, there was a lot of them this weekend. There were so many. But, not all. Some were yellow, some were given, some were given.
Exactly.
Some were
I really don't think that one for me is a red card. I think maybe a booking because he's going up with his arms. But...
There is another one. There is another one later on
about that one.
In this.
Yeah, you know, compared to that one, mate, this one's definitely not a red.
Yes. Yeah, my initial thought was yes.
I think from the distance, my initial thought was, oh shit, me, he's caught him there, and yeah, red. But then after that, when you actually see the replay, I'm like, oh, I'm not so sure on that. Actually, I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure. I put red card. Not sure. He was looking at the ball, but I wasn't sure if he, you know, had the other player had his arms with him or anything.
I think it's an unfortunate one for Robson Carnew. I think, to be honest, because I don't think it is a necessary guaranteed red for me. That one, to be honest, I don't think it is a complete and utter malicious elbow. I think it's more the leverage of the arms going up. But anyway, moving swiftly on. That's pretty much all I've got for Bournemouth and for Burnley and West Brom. Again, though, 6 points for West Brom. It's a good start from them.
Yeah, it's making me feel a bit bad. I put them quite high up on the table.
Yeah, fair one. Right, so we move on to Leicester and Brighton. I've got to be honest, 2-0 doesn't surprise me at all with Leicester. Brighton were absolutely, well, just so defensive-minded against Man City that it doesn't surprise me that Leicester's gone there and turn the screw in, if you like.
Yeah, I think Brighton were actually did quite well.
Yeah, they were much better, I think. They were much better than what they were against City. Admittedly, you don't want to get your first opening Premier League game and get an absolute traipsing off of City, though. So I can understand that one. Leicester were just too good for him, weren't they? Vardy's injured again by the looks of it.
Yeah. Looks like Vardy is injured. I wasn't sure he did walk off, but, you know, he could be anything.
He did walk off, but he was very gingerly
Adam said to me,
wasn't he?
Yeah, Adam said to me, "Oh, I'm going to bring that up because I think they just sold Slimani." And then I looked at it. Slimani had just come on for Okazaki, so I was like, "Okay."
Oh, okay.
I don't know where he's got that from. But I object and Slimani hasn't. I think we decided that we got a football manager save, and Slimani had moved on
Oh, I
there.
see. Yeah. So Okazaki scores again, mate. I mean, considering he's not their first choice striker. I mean, he's 2 goals in 2 games.
It's that, and he's not really a goal scorer. He's one of those workhorses that annoy the defenders, get in the way.
2 goals in 2 games, mate. Fair play to him.
2 goals in 2 games, yeah.
It's better than what Defoe's doing.
Great run
I think
from
someone's got Defoe in their dream team, like so.
In my fantasy team, not a dream team, just saying. Great run in from Mahrez with the shot. Okazaki in the right place, right time with the rebound. Yeah, that's what I got for it. So yeah, Mahrez cut in, I think.
He assisted the Maguire one as well.
So he put the corner in. I never seen a corner take kickers. Don't expect it.
On, mate. But mate, what a signing Maguire is so far for Leicester. I mean, he scored. Well, I say scored. He obviously caused Arsenal immense issues. He scored this week. I think he's had 2 great games so far. I really do. I think if he stays fit, mate, I wouldn't be surprised if you do see him possibly get an England cap the way he's going.
Yeah.
So I got to be honest.
I mean, he was Hull's best player last season. Apart from Snodgrass in the first half.
Compared to what John Stones is doing at the moment, for me, Maguire's doing the business. You know, give him a cap. Yeah, I think he's been great so far, and his defending against Arsenal was brilliant. You know, I mean, he was probably their best player. I know that they conceded quite a few, and defensively they were quite poor. But if it wasn't for Maguire, mate, we're scoring a lot more in that game than the Leicester game. So yeah, Maguire for me, mate, I've put that down there as he's having a cracking season so far. I know it's only 2 games in, but I hope he carries on. I hope he carries on this form because he's doing really well. Mahrez 2 assists. Is he going to go Roma? I don't see it, mate. I think this has dragged on too long now.
No, I don't think. I don't think so.
I think it's dragged on too long. At least he's done something in this game, though, because I thought against Arsenal he was shit. At least he's done something in this one.
He definitely come up to it. And then I've also got there was a handball appeal for a Brighton shot. I think it was Glenn Murray. Had a shot from outside the area, and the ball came. Yeah, so obviously he had the shot. Ball came to Morgan.
Are you sure you're watching Match Today 2 and not Match Today? Because I didn't see any of this nonsense.
I watched Match Today first, and then watched Match Today 2.
That'll be why you've got more notes than me, you bounder.
Yeah. I did. Did I not say that?
No, I thought that you only watched Match Today 2. I wondered where you were getting these from, mate.
No,
So I literally had limited highlights.
Yeah, I did manage to get them. Yeah, because they only showed the goals really and the main talking points. But the shot came in. Morgan did have his hands tucked behind his back, but he turned into the shot and it hit his arm.
I mean, the thing is that
I would have said that was
it's one of those massive. It's one of the rules at the moment, isn't it? We've discussed this a couple of times now, and I think if your arm's behind your back, no matter whether it hits your arm or not, the obvious intent of the handball is not there. You know, if your arms are behind the back,
it's not there,
and it's hit you on the arm, then you know you've got to give it the benefit of the doubt. You're doing everything right. I mean, I don't like defenders going into challenges with their arms behind their backs. Anyway, I think it's fucking nonsense. But because of the way the Premier League's gone, and because of referees giving handballs that maybe aren't handballs, you know, I can understand defenders doing it. And obviously, there's one of those points right there. If his arm's not behind his back, that's a penalty.
I mean, I can see why it could be given. I thought it should have been because he turned his body, so his arm was in front.
I got to be honest, I haven't seen it, so I'm literally just going off what you've told me, because that wasn't one of the highlights in Match of the Day 2.
I can see why it wouldn't have been given. I can also see why it would have been given. So, after seeing the replay, my first thought was it wasn't a penalty. After seeing the replay, that's what I got from it.
Okay, so that's pretty much it.
I think that's actually all I got from that one.
So, Jakey, you're going to have a lot more notes than me, mate, by the sounds of it, so that's good. So, we move on to Liverpool and Crystal Palace. Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0. I've got to be honest, mate. First and foremost, is I don't want to talk about the goal just yet, but Benteke hitting the bar early on. I mean, that's so unlucky. I mean, it was a hell of a strike. Real shame for Palace. Palace look quite dangerous as well, mate. I mean, is it that Palace look dangerous, or is it just that Liverpool are terrible at the back?
Yeah, I thought. I don't know. I think Palace look quite dangerous.
They did as well, personally honest.
They definitely come a bit more together. Again, they've just got a new manager. They've got There's a few new players. So again, it's another team that's got a
Yeah,
gel
'cause they've
together.
got a lot of new players in, to be fair.
Yeah. I thought
I agree with
Loftus-Cheek
you, by the
and
way, Danny
Foster
Boy. If
Mensah looked
Handball's
really
given for
good
that,
again
then
this
yeah,
week.
I agree with Danny Boy, what he's saying there. It hasn't gone unnoticed that you're saying stuff, Danny Boy. We are looking, mate. Don't you worry. Sorry, Loftus-Cheek.
I mean, I've got it up on my screen there. Loftus-Cheek and Foster Mensah looked very good, both of them again.
I didn't see a hell of a lot of it, mate, because as I say, match of day 2 highlights are terrible.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to do match of the day, even if I don't watch it like on a Sunday morning, which is what I did last week. Then what I might do is, instead of watching match of the day 2 highlights, watch match of the day, and then just pick up the match of the day, the first 2 games, or the Sunday game, should we say, on the match of day 2.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't see any of Loftus-Cheek and Foster Mensah, to be perfectly honest with you, which is a shame, because you know, I'd love to have been able to report the same sort of stuff. Who's number 4 that plays for Palace, by the way? Anyone know who number 4 is that plays for Palace? Number 4. Because obviously match of the day highlights are so damn fucking quick. I didn't get his name. Number 4? Anyone know who number 4 is for Palace? Jakey's looking.
Let me just search.
I thought it was Kabai, but I'm guessing he's moved.
Luka Milivojevic,
yeah?
the new signing. Yeah, Milivojevic. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I've got to say, if that was, because I didn't see a hell of a lot of highlights, I don't know how many chances Liverpool had, but their goal has come from him, Milivojevic, or whatever his name is, right? Absolute shocker, mate. He's made the first stretching tackle, won the ball, right? And then the next thing he does is make an absolute awful touch and pretty much just assists Mane. It's absolutely terrible. Why he isn't putting that into Rosette is beyond me, mate. He's had an absolute doomer there, and if that's the only real clear-cut chance that Liverpool had, for me, Palace have dropped a point there because of Milivojevic, or whatever his name is. Milivojevic.
I think it was quite unlucky actually on him, because he did have the ball.
It was the stretching one to first. I mean, if he'd assisted him from the stretching one at first, then fair enough. But he managed to recuperate himself and then made an awful touch after the stretching one. You know what I mean? So, yeah. For me, mate.
I also had Benteke had another chance where he should have scored, but he put it over the bar. That was where Loftus-Cheek, he had a good run.
I didn't see that.
He went past a few players and played it across.
I didn't see that one. But yeah, okay. So Palace did look dangerous in this game, which is good. It's just a shame, mate, that they've been really unfortunate to have lost the goal from some unfortunate / poor defending from Milivojevic. You know. It's a shame, because I would have loved to have seen Liverpool drop 4 points already in the Premier League. That would have been fantastic. And to be fair, against clubs that they should be beating. So it's a shame. And it could have, by the sounds of it, mate, from what you're saying, from the highlights you've seen, it could have gone Palace's way. Liverpool, for me, guys.
Yeah, I didn't think Liverpool looked the best. They had some good chances.
I've got to be honest, mate. Liverpool, for me, are not entertaining me enough or worrying me enough this season so far. I do think that they look an average side at best. I mean, I can see the likes of Everton, possibly West Ham if they get strong. Leicester have been pretty good this season so far. I can see teams like that being above them at the end of the day, mate. I mean, Liverpool will be lucky if they finish in the top 10 if they carry on like this.
Me and Dan might have put messages in the chat.
No rules as far as I'm aware. Oh, brilliant. So Liverpool just don't look strong this season so far.
They looked a bit, they looked dangerous, but they didn't look as dangerous as what they should be.
I totally agree. I mean, obviously, only time will tell. Shame on Palace, by the sounds of it. I'm glad Foster Mensah's having a good season so far. It could be one of two things. I mean, great for Man United if they take him back, but absolutely amazing for Palace if they manage to keep him.
It's good for Palace so far. Yeah, Loftus-Cheek's good for England. I mean, I don't know if he's got a Chelsea career, but it's definitely good for England at the minute. And good for Palace.
Who's that?
As well.
Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek.
I like Loftus-Cheek anyway, mate. Like I said, I think when we first reported it, I think in episode 1. I think I remember saying then that I'm a big fan of Loftus-Cheek. I think he just needs time. He just needs some games. I'm glad that he's getting them at Palace. I'm glad he's having a good season. I mean, it's good that him and Foster-Mensah are having a good start. Did Zaha play? Was he any good?
He was injured,
I thought he might be.
If you had to take him out,
I did have to take him out. I did have to bin off Zaha, and it worked out well for me in the end. Which we'll talk about in a bit. Okay, so next one is Southampton 3 and West Ham 2. I'll tell you what, mate. Although I had Match of the Day 2 highlights, this game, man, was eventful.
This was the first game on Match of the Day.
Right. Okay, this was a great game.
And that usually falls to one of the big
mate,
four.
This was a
usually.
great game.
It did look very. I've got nearly a whole page of notes.
Really,
on
I
this
mean,
one on my phone.
I only had it on Match of the Day 2, mate, and I've got
All
1,
the
2,
others
3,
I've
4,
only had
5.
about
I've
half
got
a page.
6 notes, and I watched it on Match of the Day 2. Right, first one I'm going to mention is Southampton have finally scored a home goal in 6 games. I mean, Jesus, man. The Southampton fans must have stopped bloody paying for tickets. First goal in 6 games at home? Jesus Christ. It's a good goal as well from Gabbiadini. It's good to see him back on the scoring sheet because I like this fella. Completely unknown before he come to the Premier League, in my opinion. Don't know if you knew much about him. Had a great start at Southampton last season, didn't he? I'm glad he's scoring again. It's good.
Yeah. So I got here pass. Pass by who? Oh yeah. So he passed it to Redmond. He was on about the halfway line. He then runs. There was a perfect ball by Redmond that Gabbiadini gets onto and then puts it over. And I think the ball was just on the edge of the 6-yard box, something like that. So in that sort of space of time of him, the pass going to Redmond passed a few steps. He's gone from the halfway line to just before the 6-yard box. It's quite a bit of pace as well. I think it was inside West Ham's half, just inside, but it wasn't far in.
That is pace, man. I mean, Redmond's quick, but Jesus.
Yeah. So I got Lamina elbows on Maltovich. In my eye, there was nothing in it. I think that was one who definitely had only intentions for the ball.
Okay, so I didn't see that.
A little bit later.
I literally saw, obviously, I'm guessing. I wondered why he did it, mate. I wondered why he did it, because obviously on Match of the Day 2, all I've got is Arnautovic doing what he did. Which, regardless of what he thinks Lamina, did you say? Yeah, because obviously I haven't seen this initial scuffle that you're talking about here. I presumed that there would have been something. But what the fuck is Arnautovic doing, mate? I mean, it was just absolutely stupid. Mental, you know. We go back to the Robson Clyde. That's a nothing flaying arm, if you ask me, compared to this. I mean, mate, he might as well just run up and smashed him over the head with a bottle. Because it was so obvious and so blatant that there's only one outcome for Arnautovic there. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous. I mean, I saw it on slow-mo as well, mate.
Stupid.
And Lamina's head near enough fucking broke in half. You know, he caught him with that much, and because he wasn't expecting it, you know, he would have been been prepared and braced for it. You know, just absolute stupidness. I mean, the thing is, this is a problem with Arnautovic. Is he's one of those players?
Say
again, mate.
It's something we mentioned. It's something we mentioned actually on the first one when they signed him. We said he's a really good player, but you know, if he gets a bit angry, and I mean, Lamina, I don't think there was anything in it. Lamina done it.
I'll have to watch it back, mate, because I haven't seen that. I will watch that back because I was a bit like, why the fuck has he just done that? You know what I mean? But obviously, if it was because he thinks that he's been elbowed, but even so, right? They're supposed to be talking about here professional footballers. Like you take what the referee has decided. It doesn't matter after that. You don't take the game into your own hands. Yeah. You know, like, even if he does think that Lamina's intentionally gone for him, make it that you get your own back in a 50-50 challenge later on in the game, so you're only going to pick up a yellow. I mean, doing what he did is just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Does not comprehend in my head why he's done it.
And actually, not long after Lamina and Arnautovic, the first bit where Lamina hit Arnautovic, Noble actually flew in for a tackle on Lamina, which was a No, yes, the Mark Noble.
Got ya.
When I tackle on Lamina, he got a yellow card for it, and yeah, I agree with that one as well. I don't know why Lamina seemed to rile up
He
West
might
Ham.
be one of
I
those
don't know.
guys, mate. It's just an irritant, which is good. You need
Yeah.
those sort of players, mate, because he's gonna get you points by getting people like Arnautovic sent off.
Stupid players. I mean, that was definitely more stupid. I mean, especially Lamina had a horrible gash. I didn't see anything like that.
Well,
but obviously they don't show that on a match of the day.
Match of day 2 don't show me that.
They didn't show that, yeah. But what was I saying?
The noble yellow.
Yeah, Arnautovic. Yeah, I was back onto Arnautovic. I was saying he could even get more time. I don't know if you can get more time.
I think a red card. I think you can serve up to a 5-match ban, depending on how it goes through. I think it would have to go, because I think if players appeal and lose, I think that their time gets extended.
Yeah. All right, so I don't think they're going to appeal that one. There's no way they'll appeal that.
The board have got every right to give them. I think it's up to 5. We'll have to clear this up, mate. Just so we know for our own heads, really. But I think that they can serve up to a 5-match ban, depending on what it is. And I think constant reds as well, mate. I think the punishment can be severe or more severe the more and more you get.
You get more. You get more red, more longer time out the more red. If you get a straight red,
it's
I know you get a 3-match ban normal.
So I think that it'll probably only serve 3.
Yeah, but I
don't know, because if they put it down as violent conduct, mate, they can pretty much, if it goes to the board or the committee, then it'll go. They could decide that it's not only is it a red card because it's unsportsman conduct and it's violent play, but it's also, I mean, let's be fair, mate, something like that. Lamina could probably get the police involved and get him done for fucking GBH or something. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
I just done a quick search. Straight red cards for dissent will result in a 2-match ban.
Probably complain that the ref treated.
Whilst dangerous tackles or violent conduct will result in a 3-match ban, which can be raised for 4 or more games in extreme cases.
Right. So it can go. Okay. So it can go higher than 5 even. 4 or more.
Yeah, and if a player is sent off for a professional foul, e.g. holding an opponent back when they're through a goal or a second local offence, will be handled a 1-match ban.
Fair enough.
That's one.
Right, so what else have we got then? Penalty on Davis. Tadic scores a penalty, a good penalty. Well, say good penalty. He was quite lucky in fairness. Joe Hart nearly had it.
Yeah, I got him.
Definitely a penalty though. I've got to got no quarrels about that whatsoever.
I said Fonte, I don't know if he did get a card or not, but I said he was quite lucky because he did grab the guy by the throat and pull him down.
I got a funny feeling he did get booked.
Or it was around. I don't know.
It's a terrible challenge anyway, isn't it? Terrible challenge.
Yeah, it was definitely a penalty. No complaints.
I've got the first West Ham goal here. I mean, Antonio's turn, mate, for that first goal. I know it wasn't his goal.
Yeah, that was a brilliant turn.
What a turn. Who scores it in the end, mate? Because it was so fucking quick on match of the day. It was Chewy, was it? So did he get 2 then, yeah?
Yeah. He did get 2, yeah.
What a turn, mate. I mean, he actually literally sold him a dummy, mate. And mate boys bought it off him for 50 quid. Terrible. Terrible. But a great turn from Antonio. Forces a great shot as well. But yeah, Chicharito, typical Chicharito goal, innit? Right place, right time. In the box.
Right place, right time. I did also notice that Redmond, who was by Chicharito at the time, didn't actually react at all to the save from...
The thing is with Redmond, mate, is he's so attacking-minded, isn't he? And this is the thing about attacking-minded players.
He probably didn't have the brain to do
this is the thing about attacking-minded players. It's like Walcott, mate. You don't expect Walcott to react quickly in and around the box. You know, he's not that sort of player. I suppose you could probably argue Mkhitaryan's the same sort of thing as well. You know, like, they're not sort of players that you would expect to do the nitty gritty stuff well. Yeah, Chicharito, right place, right time.
I mean, fair play to him. He got back, but he wasn't really awake.
And I've got the third goal for Sam. I don't know what else you've got actually before going to the third goal.
So there was a long throw in by Antonio. Someone heads it. I didn't catch who it was. The ball came down. It hit. So it was definitely a handball. The guy had his arms. It hit the guy's arm. It wasn't behind his back or anything.
Ooh.
There was a good legitimate shout from West Ham, but there was 4 players in front of the referee's view.
Again, that wasn't on Match of Day 2. Match of Day 2 is shit.
Yeah.
Never watching it again.
There was 3 or 4 players that were blocking the referee's view. I mean, there's no way the referee could see that.
So definitely a handball though, yeah. West Ham have been
I
hard done by in this game,
how
they really? Because obviously if they've got that, and then the third goal for Southampton for me, mate, is never a penalty.
I actually, my first thought on it was it was, and then after I watched the second view, I thought it was as well, because Zabaleta came in and he definitely pushed the guy.
See, I mean, I'm stuck between. I'm between 2 minds here.
It's one of those things where the player's gone up and
who was it?
Hang on, I'm not getting this.
That went up for the other.
It was my Yoshida.
Yeah, so he's a centre half, isn't he, Yoshida? Right? If that's the other way around, mate, right, and Zabaleta does that to him in his own area, there's no way on this earth that Yoshida goes down there. Because as much as you say it's a push, but the arms weren't out. It was a shoulder.
The thing is, it's one of those things where the ball's come in.
He's definitely impeded him to a certain degree. I totally agree with that.
He's realised he's not going to get the ball, and the guy's come in and made a stupid challenge. The referee's had to make the decision. The referee's gone for it because Zabaleta, he's definitely pushed him. And because the player's gone down, the referee thought, well, he's gone down.
I think it's soft, man. I think West Ham are really unlucky here.
It's definitely a soft penalty.
West Ham have been really unlucky. Now I've watched it anyway.
We did, and then Joe Hart was being Joe Hart on the penalty, trying to put the guy off, but someone else took it.
Didn't get anywhere.
Someone else took it. A good penalty from Charlie Austin. We did scoot over West Ham's second goal.
See you later, Flawless. Have a good one, dude.
Yeah, we did scoot over the second goal.
Mate. I think. Do you know why, mate? Because Match of the Day 2 did. Honestly, I was like, hang on a minute. Where's West Ham's second goal?
So the ball came in. Hernandez was actually completely unmarked. It went over Hernandez. It was headed by, I think it was Diafra Saka. I'm assuming they've still got him. It was someone called Saka anyway.
Right.
It was saved really well by Forster again, because he saved the first one, I thought, quite well. Hernandez is still unmarked there for the rebound. Again, Hernandez goal.
Then, yeah, I didn't see it, mate. I only saw the first one, which is annoying. But there you go. But yeah, overall, mate, I think West Ham are unlucky. I mean, they're starting to gel by the looks of it. If they keep to 11 men on the field, I think they've beat Southampton there. For me, they played 2/3 of the game with 10 men. You know, and they managed to get back into the game as well, which is
managed to get back into it. It's about 30th minute, I think. Anarovich was
nonsense.
Sorry, Anarovich was set
off. Yeah. So anyway, we move on to Stoke and Arsenal. I've got to be honest with you, mate. For me, it was my first thoughts, right? Because this is the only football I watched live this weekend. My first thoughts is, why the fuck are we? What the first change that we made was Mustafi in, which is brilliant. It's good to see Mustafi fit again. I mean, he was never unfit. It was only because of the Confederations Cup that he wasn't in the starting lineup for the Leicester game anyway. My initial thought is, hang on a minute, we've brought Mustafi in and we've taken out our only other fit centre half. What the fuck are we doing?
So you started with two left
backs. We started with Kosteliniak and Monreal. Monreal being the middleman as well, right? So we've taken Rob Holding off, as in like we've benched Rob Holding to bring Mustafi in, but we've still got 2 left backs playing as the 3 centre halves. What the fuck? Generally, what the fuck? Like that. There's no excuses this time. Last week against Leicester, we didn't have anything else. Unfortunately, Mertesacker started, got injured, had to come off. Koscielny's still banned, and Mustafi was still unfit, or whatever Wenger wants to call it, from the Confederations Cup. So why are we starting Kolasinac and Monreal as centre halves again, taking out Rob Holding, who was our only other fit centre half the week before, and putting in Mustafi, surely you've got to take Monreal out. You know, because Kolasinac, although he's not a fullback, he's a big boy and can play as a centre half. I'm sure he'll be. You know, he looks a lot more well suited than Monreal.
Who was playing left wing back?
Who? Kolasinac?
Sorry.
Who?
Who was playing left wing back? You should play centre back, didn't you?
Bellerin was playing left.
Left wing back.
Chamberlain was playing right wing back. So.
All right.
I mean, for me, mate, it's not good enough from Wenger. I mean, the thought process. I know Rob Holding had a bad game against Leicester, yeah, but with Mustafi back, I'm sure Mustafi would have been able to hoax or coach Rob Holding into having a game like he did in the FA Cup. I don't think Rob Holding's the most amazing centre half in the world. Don't get me wrong, but surely you're better off playing a traded centre half than a left back. Let's be fair, mate. Monreal is so forward thinking that surely putting him as centre half is just nonsense. It's nonsense.
Yeah, I don't even rate him that much as a player.
I'm not a massive fan of Monreal myself, mate, but we haven't really got anything else. I mean, Bellerin had a great half had a great game at left wing back, but for me, mate, there's our first mistake anyway. So straight away, I've seen the starting lineup and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Why are we doing this? So obviously, I knew that we were going to have another torrid time at the back. I mean, it didn't turn out all that well. It didn't turn out that way for us. Luckily, you know, that Stoke very rarely challenged us, to be honest, in my opinion. Anyway, so I think it was much the same against the Leicester with the Leicester game, to be honest, mate. Arsenal going forward, fantastic. Unfortunately, this week there was no end product. Now, I don't think that's any fault of Arsenal's this week because I haven't seen the stats, can't remember what they were, but Butland has made some absolutely fantastic saves in that. Oh, he was absolutely fantastic. And I take nothing away from the Stoke centre halves as well. They were brilliant. And to be perfectly honest, those three players, the two centre halves and the goalkeeper, played better than Leicester's two centre halves and the goalkeeper the week before. So it's no surprise that they shut us out because Butland was fantastic. The Stoke goal comes from another absolute shocking wayward pass from Granit Xhaka. I mean, this is now 2 games in a row where we've conceded from Granit Xhaka, who's supposed to be our clear-up man, our central holding midfielder. He's supposed to be our rock, right? Is literally just given away a ball. Now, admittedly, when he does it, we're in Stoke's half, right? So Stoke have still got a lot to do, admittedly, right? So the thing that got me, though, mate, is he makes that mistake, and then he makes another mistake straight after. Like a little schoolboy, mate. He goes running after his wayward pass. So now we've got nothing in between where our midfielders are, is just inside the Stoke's half, to our centre halves. There's nothing in between that, mate. So we're 3-on-3 before you know it. Monreal, again, he's not a centre half, so I don't blame him. But he makes like a slight stop as the ball's played to Hesse. And it's only slight, but he stops. He almost not quite switches on. Either that or he's trying to play the offside or something. I'm not sure what his thought process was. But take nothing away from Hesse. Looked fantastic in that game.
I'm going to say, I've got Hesse.
Oh my God, mate, he looks fantastic.
Definitely looked like
what a signing for Stoke.
He didn't look like he hasn't really
Oh, mate, what
much.
a signing for Stoke. And I tell you what, he's the sort of guy that needs to stay in the Premier League, mate. He was brilliant. Considering he's supposedly unfit as well. He's only been in the country by that point, I think, 4 days or something stupid. It's a great finish.
Like that,
first time shot, beats Czech. Czech was probably not expecting the first time shot, to be honest, because Monreal's so close.
Well.
Great goal. Really, really chuffed for Hesse to get off the mark because he does look very, very good. And in that game, he was probably Stoke's only out there and deserved a goal, really. So anyway, 1-0 down straight after half time. Again, Granit Xhaka for me, terrible. The other thing I've got here, mate, is Özil. He's still not doing enough for me, mate. He's just...
There was a point I
terrible,
noticed. There was a free kick for you guys. I'd say probably about 30 yards out from the corner flag, so it was on that line. I'd say probably about 30 yards from the corner flag, so that sort of area from the box. He put the ball in with the free kick and then stood there.
Mate. this is the problem.
Just stood there and watched it, and then the ball came out. It did come back to him, and then he played it in again, and still just stood there, and he just sort of walked back into the centre a little bit.
This is the issue I've got with Virtual at the moment, mate. For me, he's not doing enough, mate. His urgency is not there. You know, for a guy that we look to make things happen. One, his passing this season so far has been terrible, mate. You know, like his intricate passing with some of the guys. It's been so wayward. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, a bit like Jakey, to be honest, mate. His passing's not been the great when it's been like in our own half. Yeah, for me, Özil's not doing enough for me at the moment. The other thing I've got is the offside. I think the liner's guessed there, mate, because it was literally a boot.
It was
literally a boot.
But I looked at it, and I'm not sure if he gave it.
It looks like Ramsey's touched it, doesn't it?
Stoke player. The ball hit a Stoke player or someone like that, and it sort of bounced a little bit. And at that point, Lacazette was definitely offside. So I'm not sure if the linesman's seen that and not seen who actually hit it.
I think you're right, mate. I think he's given it off of that deflection, because as the point of the deflection, he is definitely offside. But if he spotted that boot prior to that, mate, then fucking kudos to him. I don't think he has. I don't think he has, though, mate. I think you're right. There's like a second phase or a second slight glancing knock, isn't there, that looks like someone else has touched it. Yeah. And I think that, what a finish, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was a good finish.
Just think that Lacazette needs to get used to wet weather, because his touch was a little bit off. I remember
he couldn't do it on a cold wet night.
No, there was like one point where he was in around the 6-yard box, mate, and the ball was played to him, and he had such a heavy touch. It was literally in Shawcross's feet. It was that bad. I think that was the wet conditions rather than anything else. I don't think it was like, oh my God, Lacazette, we need to be worried about him. I thought Lacazette again looked very, very good. But I thought Arsenal looked very good going forward. Just this week, Stoke were very, very, very good at the back. I mean, very good. And they had a few opportunities when they were doing us on the break. Mainly from Hesse, to be honest. He was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But 3 points lost for Arsenal. And again, it looks like, so far, it's going to be the same old Arsenal this season. I don't think much has changed, especially as we've got 3 centre-halves that aren't centre-halves. We seem to be playing left full-backs. And also, Xhaka, for me, mate, is our weak link at the moment.
Yeah.
Get Coughlin fit.
I also had a penalty. I also had a penalty
Definite penalty,
in the first half, it was.
As much as, like, you know me, mate, I'm not biased, but when I first initially saw it, mate, I shouted penalty. Because for me, it looked like contact. When I watched again in the replay of one of the angles, I think it was a side-on angle, not the angle of the referee, I was like, oh, actually, I'm not sure. And then when you see it from the referee's view, mate, he is blatantly clattered. He's caught Bellerin's standing leg. Because Bellerin's stretching, and he's caught the standing leg, and Bellerin goes over. It's a penalty for me, mate.
My first thought that it wasn't a penalty because it looked like Bellerin had actually got a shot off, which automatically, if the referee played advantage or whatever, it means he's gained the advantage and had the shot. Then I got the second view, and it looked as if, I think it was Diouf, he went for the ball and then put his leg back in, and his other leg underneath him slipped. Which is the leg that hit Bellerin. I don't think it's
a complete intentional thing, but it's definitely a penalty.
Definitely wasn't intentional, but I think I wasn't sure, but it could go. It's one of those that on another day the referee might have given it.
I mean,
I reckon. I mean, it's an unlucky decision.
I think it is a penalty. Like I say, I went through 2 thought processes. The first appeal, I watched it live. I've shouted penalty because it looked like a penalty to me. When I watched the first replay, I was like, oh, maybe it's not. I thought it was more of a slip. The second view looked more of a slip from Bellerin. And then the third view, third replay, I was like, it's definitely a penalty. He's made contact. I mean, regardless of the fact of whether it wasn't malicious or not, the fact of the matter is, mate, is he has caught Bellerin's standing leg. Bellerin's gone over. It's a penalty for me. But you know, at the end of the day, mate, you can't. It's a bit like when in the UFC, mate. Yeah, in the UFC, the coaches always tell them, don't leave it to the referee's decision. Now, I'm not being funny, mate, but a decision for a penalty and whatever, especially at the Britannia, you're not going to win a game of football if you're just constantly looking for a penalty. I don't believe that Bellerin was looking for a penalty. I do believe there's contact there. I don't believe he's dived. I believe it's a penalty. But the fact of the matter is these decisions often get called wrong. We can't wallow on that. At the end of the day, that was the first half. We should have been beating the team anyway. If it wasn't for Butland and the two centre halves, we've beaten them. So, for me, the penalty is immaterial, to be honest, mate, because we should be working enough to get a goal anyway. In my personal opinion, it's a shame, because it's technically 2 points we could have dropped instead of 3. But for Arsenal, that's still not good enough, in my opinion, mate. So it doesn't really matter if we've lost the extra point, in my personal opinion. But yeah, so that's all I've got for Arsenal. Let's hope that they can dust themselves off, because we've got Liverpool this week, and let's be fair, it's usually a high-scoring motherfucker against them lot. And with them being so shit at the back as well, mate, I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a ridiculously high-scoring game. I remember last season was 4-3 to Liverpool. So yeah, I can't wait for that game on the weekend. I really can't, because I think it's going to be a very, very high-scoring, high-flying goal fest for both teams, to be honest. Because we're terrible at the back. Is this what kids are into nowadays? Oh my god, they made FIFA into a real thing. Well, Jakey and Chewy did, Jay. Right, so we move on to the Sunday games. Huddersfield and Newcastle. I mean, I've got to be honest, mate, this was a bit of a shock one for me. I mean, I know Huddersfield had a great result against Palace. I thought that Palace were quite good in that game. I thought Huddersfield were better. But I also thought that Newcastle were extremely good against Spurs. So yeah, I was expecting a draw in this one, possibly a score draw, but the only thing I can take out of this is it's a shame that Mounier didn't score again, because I really like that boy. I really do like Mounier. I'll tell you what though, the standout player for me out of both teams, my man of the match, mate, is Matt Ritchie. What a game that boy had! I mean, he looked so threatening.
He only got me one. He only got me one or so point.
Eh?
He only got a couple of points in fact.
Yeah, I know, but it's because he hasn't scored or assisted anything in it. But he had such a game, mate. He was fantastic.
I thought Kachunga for Huddersfield.
He played very well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I've only got limited highlights, but I've got more highlights on these two games than I have on anything else because of Match of the Day 2.
Yeah, that's why I watched Match of the Day 2.
These two.
So I got the first bit I noticed, there was a mistake by Marino, who was one of those guys we were looking at.
This is the Dortmund on loan fella, isn't it?
Dortmund on loan.
Massive slip in the middle of the park.
There was a breakaway. Yeah. Breakaway from Kachunga. Tried to play it to Mounier, but Mbemba looks pretty decent as well.
Yeah, he does. I mean, this breakaway though, mate. Do you not think he can go the other side to Ince?
He was looking both ways, and I think he just went for Mounier because Mounier got the 2 last week.
I just think that the defender's closer to Mounier. I think if he goes Ince, I think Ince is getting a better strike off. I mean, it was a great challenge.
I think the other thing he looked at was the guy playing right back was a right back, whereas the guy playing left back, which is the two players they're attacking, was a centre back. So thinking maybe the centre. I don't know if he thought into it.
I don't know how much thought process he would have had. I mean, he had a lot of time to think about it, mate. I mean, he held it as well. Yeah. He held it for a long time.
But he definitely
thinking. He definitely looked both ways. I just think, for me, mate, if I was in that position, I mean, it might not have been the right option. I mean, Ince could blast it over. But I just think you play it to Ince, mate. He's got a little bit more time to get a shot off than what Mounier did. The centre half was a lot. Because, I mean, by the time the Mounier actually has a strike, all 3 of the Newcastle defenders are actually around him. Not necessarily close, but they are all around him, whereas Ince is completely free. I think possibly a wrong decision, but with that said and done, what a challenge. What a challenge. Who was it? Mbemba, right? It was a great challenge, mate.
Chancellor Mbemba.
The goal. I mean, we've got to talk about the goal. Moyes' goal in the first half. It's a great strike.
Yes, it was a brilliant finish. So I actually got So he and he won two with a couple of
Yeah,
players, which left him
that's
on the edge
right.
of the area, and he just curled it straight into
I
the
mean,
far
it's a great
post.
goal, mate. It's a fantastic goal.
I mean, if the keeper made the save, they might as well be the best keeper in the world.
Nah,
There's
he's not
no
getting to
way
that,
anyone
mate.
was
He's
saving that.
so far away from it. I mean, no keeper's getting that. It was a really good goal. The other thing as well is Newcastle did have chances, mate. Let's be fair. Matt Ritchie had a great pinging strike from outside the area.
That's true.
Again, though, Ritchie was just very good on
I
the
think
game.
Huddersfield got the win, got the goal, and they sort of held Newcastle out. I thought, well,
the only other thing I have got here, mate, is I remember the ball getting played into Perez. He's got a centre half behind him. He's controlled it well, and then on the turn, mate, he's hit it and he's just fired it into Rowe's head. He's on like 6-yard box. He's got to do better there for me. He's got to work the keeper. But Huddersfield,
I didn't note that down. I must have been writing something else.
Yeah, maybe, mate. Huddersfield, for me, they look very good defending again. Their defence was on point.
Yeah.
But I don't think Newcastle can be written off yet, mate. I think that they've definitely got enough about them to be picking points up this season. I don't think they're down and out. I mean, let's be fair, mate. The goal's very good goal. It's very well worked goal. But Matt Ritchie's going to start scoring soon, mate. I can tell you that now. He is playing very, very well. Yeah, so I think all in all, after watching it, I still think that a draw would have been fair. But hey, there we go. Newcastle
football.
Football for you. I think Newcastle will be all right. I think they'll start picking up points at some point. I don't think they're down and out. I think they're unlucky in this game.
I still actually a few of their fans aren't very happy because they've got what their fans think is a championship team.
That's the thing is, I think that Benitez probably isn't very happy as well, though, mate. I think he still feels as though he needs to get some players in.
I've heard, actually, we did mention it in the gossip, because it wasn't actually in the gossip pages, but apparently they were looking at Andy Carroll back again.
That would be a good move, mate, because Carroll will get...
as long as he stays fit as 15 this season.
Mate. The fitness of Carroll. It'll be a good move.
He never had any problems.
He joined West Ham, and he was injured all the time, wasn't he?
He was never injured at Liverpool. They just never played him because he didn't fit their system. He was another one of their strikers that they thought, oh yeah, he'll do. He just didn't fit the system.
For me, I think it's been a shame for Carroll because again, another guy that's been on the England pages, but unfortunately has carried so many injuries at West Ham. Maybe it's just London clubs don't know how to keep their people fit, or maybe West Ham's got the Arsenal physio in there now, and you know. Maybe that's why Lacazette's not injured,
Still a couple of games left. He'll be the first. He's got his national break coming up. I'm sure he'll get injured during that.
Games left, you know what I mean?
Wenger would love that.
He ain't got long to go. You know what I mean? He just needs to stay fit for another 36 games, and we're happy. Yeah. So all in all, not a bad game. Huddersfield another win, 6 points. What are they like, second or third now in the Premier League? They're undefeated, mate. 100% record.
I haven't actually looked.
There's not many teams that have got 100% record, is there?
I believe there's only
so
3.
Must be third then, surely.
Let's see. They are second.
Huddersfield 2 games in second. Are they going to do a Leicester? Are Huddersfield going to do a Leicester? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Right. Moving on then. Second game on Sunday, Spurs versus Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea victory 2-1. Shame that Spurs let a lead slip.
Yeah.
I haven't... What have I got here?
Spurs let a lead slip. Chelsea they
did. I'm talking out my anus. Yeah, I think to be honest with you, mate, from what I saw... I've got quite a few notes here, but from what I saw overall, I think, to be honest with you, Chelsea were the better team on the day. Morata could have scored after 5 minutes. The free kick was definitely a free kick. I'm not too sure. I can't remember who made the challenge, but I've not...
I thought it was a free kick, but it was a bit of a soft one.
But it's definitely a free kick. I can't remember who made the challenge, mate, but he was moaning his arse off about it. I'm like, well, it is a free kick, mate. But then the resulting free kick, what a free kick it is from Alonso. Absolute blinder.
That was a brilliant enough.
Absolute blinder. I've got here as well. I think this is Harry Kane's penalty shout. I'm not buying it, mate. I don't think it's a penalty either. I know that Harry Kane's. I don't think it's a penalty. I think it would be a weak penalty if it was one.
I didn't even mark it down, so that's it.
I only did because it was a shout. I tell you what as well, though, mate. It's another top 4 team, or should we say top 6 now? Because let's be fair, there's probably 6 potential teams that are going to be in the top 6 now. It's all going to be a battle between them, but Chelsea are probably one of those for me. Another team that are not looking great at the back. I mean, that Rudiger that they signed, mate, he looks average at best, man. He had a poor game, he did. They don't look convincing for me, Chelsea, at the back. A bit like Liverpool, Arsenal at the moment, United even. You know, United are going the other way and like showing the rest of them how actually you can score goals. But it seems to be like an ongoing scenario here for the English Premier League at the moment. Is at the back we're pretty poor. Our top clubs are not the best. I think Spurs are probably the only team that you can say are still defending quite well. They're not doing much going forward, you know. But yeah, for me, Spurs didn't look great at the back, man. They really didn't look good. But hey, there you go. Did I say Spurs? I meant Chelsea. I meant Chelsea don't look good at the back. Not Spurs. Spurs look fine at the back.
Yeah. So I got Spurs' goal. Batshuayi own goal. The ball then is definitely finding Alderweireld, I reckon. Probably score. I don't know.
He is, mate. But
it was a good header.
Great goal though.
But it was a brilliant header from Batshuayi.
That's up the other end. Perfect. Fair one, Batshuayi. That's a great goal. One mate. What's Batshuayi doing back there anyway? I mean, presumably he's playing as like the man just behind Morata. But like we're talking like he's on the defensive line there. I mean, you don't want Batshuayi.
I don't know.
There, do you?
It was a free kick.
Yeah,
it's
a free kick.
I suppose.
Like he's literally in the thick of it, though, isn't he? Like, why is Batshuayi
I suppose he might
potentially marking Alderweireld?
He might. I don't think he was marking Alderweireld. Because Alderweireld was a few. Alderweireld. He had quite a bit of. There was quite a distance between them. Yeah, there was, to
be fair.
But I reckon. Because you know the defence team usually floods the box, and usually they get picked. Because, I mean, that would be the only reason him being back there and not Morata is he can hoof the ball up the pitch, or someone hoofs the ball up the pitch, he can sprint and get out there for the attack.
Goal.
Or score a really good own goal.
Yeah, mate, I don't know why he's on that defensive line now. I mean, he's literally where you'd expect the centre-halves to be. I mean, I don't remember seeing anyone... like I don't know where David Luiz was, for instance. Surely you would expect David Luiz to be on Alderweireld. But anyway, it looks again a little bit shoddy from Chelsea at the back for my personal liking. And again, I think that just proves it. I'm not sure why Batshuayi is that far back. I mean, I know that all Premier League teams seem to be doing it. I mean, like when Giroud's on, because he's a big presence and stuff like that, we tend to stick him. But we tend to stick him like on the nearer the post, or you know, like he's not usually in the thick of it. You wouldn't expect Giroud to be marking a centre half, because we know on corners generally your centre halves are huge. That's what you're aiming for. You want your centre halves on centre halves, you know. It just seemed a little bit strange how deep Batshuayi was for me. I mean, I take nothing away from Batshuayi. Absolutely fantastic own goal. Cool. There you go. I've got it. So the second Chelsea goal then, mate. Obviously Alonso again. Although it's
some dodgy play in midfield, I think. It was dodgy keeping as well.
Like almost like a little midfield scuffle that goes on, and the ball pings around a little bit. Almost like FIFA 17. And Spurs couldn't just quite get a grip of it, and then it pings off a couple of players. Ball gets played into Alonso, and for me, mate, Lloris, the well-known Spurs clean sheet maestro that he was last season, he's not getting beaten at his near post there. That's terrible.
He shouldn't have been beaten. I wasn't sure. There was a after-match press conference which I didn't watch, where he done it, but I wasn't sure if he was sort of holding off, trying to see if he was going to go far post.
Right. I don't know. I mean, the replays
But yeah, he should never have been
the
beaten.
replays I saw, I mean, he actually dives towards the near post as well on the replays I saw. But I still think that, I mean, the strike wasn't exactly a bullet either. Do you know what I mean? I just think that, I think that for me, mate, is ultimately poor keeping. But take nothing away from Alonso. I mean, 2 games for a left back in a game is pretty damn decent, isn't it? The first free kick was good. This one looked like a good goal. I don't think it was the hardest strike in the world. But ultimately, Chelsea have outshone Spurs, and I didn't see that happening, to be honest, mate. I still think that Chelsea look very, very weak, especially at the back. David Luiz defending, don't make me laugh. Yeah, fair one. He was probably in Batshuayi's position, to be fair.
That's what went wrong.
They swapped Batshuayi for David Luiz. He's had coaching from Arsenal's goalkeeping coach. Wait. I'm pretty sure Czech got beat in his opposite post. I'm sure. I don't think he got beat in his near post. I'm sure. I don't know what Adam's going on about.
I think he's meant to joke Arsenal.
Right. It was a pretty shit one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chelsea over Spurs, I guess, and obviously they've picked up the first 3 points of the season, and let's be fair,
also
against a very strong Spurs squad still, you know.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you've seen the stat or anything, but Spurs have played, I think that was maybe their 12th. I can't remember what it was in there, 11th or 12th competitive game at the new Wembley, and they've only won twice.
Spurs? That's their 12th competitive game, is it?
Yeah, because they played all their home games in the Champions League last season there as well.
Yeah, I know, because obviously they're renovating White Hart Lane, aren't they?
Yeah, and then
so I thought it was
had,
only the beginning of this season that they started playing there. See, I didn't realise they played their Champions League games there.
That includes any like League Cup games.
Okay, obviously that's because of ticket sales and whatnot, presumably.
For the Champions League, it was because of safety, health and safety.
Fair enough.
Because they were doing the work
during midweek.
During the yeah.
Fair dues, mate.
They were working there at the time, so
makes sense, mate. Makes sense. So yeah, wow, that is a good stat. I like that stat. Thank you very much for that one, Jakey. Okay, so moving on to our last one. I've got to be honest, Jakey, I have nothing on this one because as my computer. By the way, my computer stopped having a hissy fit now, so whatever it was, it stopped.
I noticed that
it's being a good computer now. So God knows what that was at the very, very beginning. It's a shame because we had like 11 people watching at the point that my computer was being an arsehole. But yeah, so 1-1, mate. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to hand this one completely and utterly over to you because I have seen nothing from this because my computer was being such a penis. So I restarted it.
I will take it. Firstly, it doesn't actually come in match of the day too, because of the Monday game. So I actually searched it on YouTube and someone had ripped the highlights off of Sky Sports.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was probably one I was watching as well, mate. It was an awful video as well, right?
I don't. It looked alright. I mean, I don't have any problems. There's loads on there.
Blatant. Like they didn't even try covering it up.
Yeah, it's definitely obvious. So the first, because there was 2 red cards in this game as well. There was 2 red cards as well as the 2 goals.
I know who the goal scorers are. If that's anything to go by.
I know who the goal scorers were as well. Yes, the first yellow for Schneiderlin, definite late tackle.
Right, okay.
That's all I got on it. I didn't say who he tackled. The next point I got was Jakey Elkan looked really good.
I rate Jakey Elkan.
I don't know how he was outpacing. I
really do like Jakey Elkan.
He was outpacing. I mean, he's 35 because we just talked about him earlier on, and he was outpacing Aguero.
Wow.
He come and took Aguero on. He was like, "Hang on a minute, what are you doing, mate?"
That is mint.
So Calvert-Lewin set up Rooney again. I think it was fairly similar to the goal last week, apart from Rooney headed to last week. It's this one. It was passed in. The keeper, Man City's £34 million most expensive goalkeeper.
Yeah, this is that Edison, isn't it?
He just let it through his legs.
Was it a hard strike from Rooney?
Went through his legs. I wouldn't say it was
I need to
really
watch this,
hard.
don't I? I'm going to get it up in a sec.
But that he went and celebrated in front of the City fans. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures.
No.
But there's quite a few people that have took pictures for one of his other goals against Man City, and there was these I think it was his 150th possibly.
Yes, that's right, mate. I remember
his 50th, 150th, 200th goals
really?
against City. He didn't score his 100th against City, unfortunately. But yeah, there was a picture going around, and it showed I think there was 3 or 4 of the same fans, and there was this guy that was giving him the V, giving him some V signs, gave him V signs at both of them. And there's 2 guys having a shouting or something. Stood next to each other, which is quite an interesting picture, actually.
That's brilliant.
Oh
my god, these highlights are terrible.
Goalkeeper from Man City. The one I got was a video by Ronald BP.
I'm not sure. I've just got.
I just typed in Man City.
Football-show. So I just haven't.
I think it was
it's
actually
only a 4-minute video. I just want to see this goal that you're on about from.
Yeah.
I mean, City for me, mate.
I wouldn't have said it was a hard strike.
They're just pop shotting from. They're pop shotting from outside the area again. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect every team to play like Arsenal and just fucking dilly-dally about with it. But I mean, Pickford's. He's a decent keeper, mate. I mean, he's making these shots look ridiculously easy. You know, they're all from outside the area. I've not seen City have one inside the area yet.
That's what's next.
Aguero looks bright though, doesn't he?
Walker. Yeah. Walker, his first yellow, again, it's definitely yellow, foul from behind. His second yellow, I think this was in the second half. First was in the first half.
Oh my god, I've just seen the Rooney goal.
Yellow.
Mate, that's terrible goalkeeping,
that. So Walker's second yellow, I reckon was a yellow, but could also be seen as a red.
What, straight red?
Or a deliberate straight red, yeah. Or because it looked, it was Calvert-Lewin, I believe it was. Him and Calvert-Lewin were sort of, the ball's in the air and they're sort of going for it between each other. I think Calvert-Lewin had his arms on Walker, you know, trying to get his leverage, and Walker just sort of swung his elbow around.
Right. And just.
So
is it a straight red or does he get a yellow?
He got a yellow for it, so it was second yellow.
So what was Otamendi's red for? I don't know. Oh no, this is the. This is the Walker one. It's Otamendi that's. So hang on. Oh mate, he's looking at him as well, isn't he? I mean, to be fair, it's not an elbow. It's his shoulder that he digs in.
I don't know.
I don't know, mate. I mean, he is looking at him. The fact of the matter is, mate, is the intent is there.
He definitely knows he's there. He's definitely gone for it.
That for me is definitely a yellow card anyway.
Compared to what the early one earlier, it's definitely a yellow anyway. Yeah.
Regardless of whether it's red or not.
And then 1-0, which was from Sterling. The ball came in. It was headed down to Sterling, who just absolutely
it's a bullet, is it? I mean, let's be fair. Sterling doesn't score bullets. I tell you what, mate. Aguero looks sharp though. Just looking at these highlights.
Yeah.
Aguero does look sharp.
And the final bit I've got is Schneidlin's second yellow. I haven't actually written much on it, but I said it was definitely a yellow card. So I don't know what I've got on it.
Sterling loves rocketing the ball over the bar, doesn't he?
I think he just likes to kick it with power.
I tell you what, Sterling for me is average at best in a City shirt.
Yeah.
I preferred him much more when he was at Liverpool personally. I don't think he should have moved, mate. I think it's another England player that's just going to have their careers sort of halted, to be honest.
In fairness to Sterling, I think because there's a lot of people. Yeah, he hit it.
It's on the volley as well. It's a good goal. Do you know, it's not even nodded down to him, mate. It's actually an Everton player that's nodded it down to him. It's poor clearance.
Oh yeah, I've just seen Steinman's one again.
Definite yellow.
The ball passed into. passed into Aguero and he just followed
Yeah,
through
it's
late on
definitely yellow.
Aguero.
So obviously being a second yellow, I didn't see what his first yellow was for, but yeah, for me, fair enough.
Yeah. So what we're on to, I think that's all the matches actually. I think last week we did our team of the week.
I believe it is. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got.
We didn't actually write it in. We just decided who was the best team over the week. We reckon.
Well, it's gonna have to be United, isn't it? They're on fire.
I was actually going to say Watford.
Watford are doing very, very well. Yeah. Yeah, but I just think United going forward.
I would have said this week Watford played quite well.
So Jakey, so right, so we've got our prediction review. This is just where obviously we rack up the points to see where the predictions are. We've obviously now got a little points table at the bottom to show you the overall points of where both me and Jakey are at. And it is heating up. It's getting close. Obviously, Jakey was like about 6 points clear or something stupid.
I went fucking mental.
Over me.
I was 3 points
clear of me over me. Where? Yeah. So Jakey was quite a bit over me. So obviously Swansea and Man United was 4-0. Jakey absolutely pooped himself. He was live streaming when I told him that Man United went 3-0 up. And then he was an extremely excited bunny when he heard they got a fourth, just so I didn't get 3 points on the old prediction review. So yeah, Man United 4-0. I said 3, Jakey said 2-0. Both got a point each because we got the correct outcome. Bournemouth 0, Watford 2. Believe it or not, Chewy got it on the money. So 3. I think, is that our first correct predicted result? Or no, you got one last week, didn't you?
I correctly predicted Southampton.
That was the 1-0, wasn't it? No, that's right.
No.
So we've got another correctly predicted result. So that's 1 each for me and Jakey. So it was 2-0 to Watford, what Chewy had. So Leicester 2, Brighton 0. Both got the correct outcome for that. Southampton 3, West Ham 2. Now, I went for a draw. And Jakey went for a West Ham win. Unfortunately, we were both wrong. So we get nil points. Liverpool 1...
I actually got more scorelines correct. More results correct than what you did.
You did, but luckily I got a big fat 3. So Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0. Jakey went for a draw. I went for a Liverpool win, so I get a point. Burnley 0, West Brom 1. I went for the draw. Nil points for Chewy. Jakey went for a 2-1 win. None of us got the Stoke one right. I think there's very little people in the whole country apart from Stoke fans that probably predicted that correctly. Huddersfield 1, Newcastle 0. I went for the draw. Jakey went for the Huddersfield win, which he gets 1 point. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2. I think we both went for a Tottenham win, which were... Wait a minute. I've missed out your 0. But anyway.
You have. I did spot that. I was wondering why there was a star.
Man City
there
1, Everton 1. We both went for Man City wins, and none of us got it right. So we both did get a 0. I don't know where Jakey's 0's gone, but anyway. So this week I got 6 points. Jakey got 4 points, and the points total is looking pretty decent now. So Jakey's on 14, Chewy's on 13. As I said last week, this can all change in an instant. I believe though this week. Our results are very, very similar, if I remember rightly, but we'll be getting to that after we show you how our fantasy football went this week. And if by magic, ta-da! So, a bit like last week, Chewy wins. And I've had a really good 2 weeks, to be honest. I'm actually 3rd in our table at the moment, Jakey, and I'm actually in this like massive league as well, where there's like hundreds of people playing that. One of my old mates that used to play football for me invited me into a few seasons back. To be honest with you, though, I'm one of these people that tends to drop fantasy football like halfway through a season. But I think by doing this, it'll probably keep us both going all season this year. I've just noticed, Jakey, you lost a lot of points with Butland there, mate.
Yeah, I took him. I don't think I had Shawcross in last week, but I'll probably, but I thought they were going to get. Well, I thought the score was going to be 3-2. Our defensive players and a 3-2 result.
Mate, you had Shawcross there as well. Mate, you could have ended up with an extra, what's that, 3 points minus off 9. You could have ended up with another 9 points on top of that. So you'd have ended on 46, what was that, 49, 55. So you would have literally been a point behind me, man.
Well, if I put Butland and Shawcross in, that's 17 points. That's 15 points. I would have ended up above you.
Yeah, but you would have had to, because obviously you got 2 points for Begovic and 1 for Ake, so you'd have had to take them off as well. So 15 points. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, 15
Well,
points.
I was talking about best case scenario with Alderweireld.
Oh, okay, yeah, Alderweireld.
We don't we don't talk about fantasy football. Why not, Danny? I mean, I'm 10th out of 14, and I think you're below me.
Danny Boy only
Flatspace,
got
I think,
23
about the
points.
same as me.
What the
He's only
hell
had 1
happened to your
week.
team this week, Danny Boy? I haven't had a look, man. I'll have to go and look at that.
I think Flatspace got about the same amount of points as me,
About
actually.
46, yeah.
But he's only got
he's only got
worth
one
of points. I think
week, which is a shame, really, because I didn't realise it did that, which is a bit of a bummer for Flatspace. But I'm sure he'll overtake a few of the other players that don't play, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I can't.
I'm sure he'll overtake Adam soon enough. He did only get 23 points.
Well, Adam hasn't got any points, I don't think. I think Adam might as well just quit.
Adam got 20. Adam got 27.
Really? He got more than Danny Boy? Danny Boy must have got like the least out of the whole league then, right? Don't want to talk about my dad.
I think so.
So yeah, I done all right. Apart from Vertonghen, I mean, I could have had an extra point there as well if Ake got put in, but I think Vertonghen's was yellow card. Because
I think the game switches. I don't know, but I think the game switches. Only switches out if the player doesn't play.
Because I think the only reason Vertonghen's on the 0, I think, is because of the 2 conceded goals, and I'm sure he got booked.
Yeah.
Which is probably the same for Alderweireld. Was probably a booking and obviously conceded 2 goals. So that's probably where you and me have both lost the points on the 0. But yeah, basically, both of us put Mkhitaryan. You put Mkhitaryan as your captain, you little bounder.
Actually, I said this to Adam, actually. I originally had Hernandez as my captain.
Wounded. So you'd have had
and I swapped Mkhitaryan as captain on Friday.
I'm an absolute doomer at picking my captain, man. I really don't know who to go for. But again, guys, it's like I said before. You need about a goal per striker in fantasy football, and obviously with Lukaku getting 1 and Hernandez getting 2 for me, I've got pretty much a goal a game for my 3. Unfortunately, Defoe and Rashford are letting you down at the moment, Jakey.
Well, Rashford, I mean, he's been getting assists and whatnot.
The only thing is, I can't believe on this he's been put down as a forward. I mean, he very rarely plays up top. He's usually played on the wing, isn't he? Admittedly a high winger, but still, I'm very surprised he's even been put down as a forward. I don't really get that, but...
I actually have just looked at it, actually. You haven't got our totals.
What do you mean?
So our current score. Our total current
score.
Oh,
that'll be because of team of the week. So I presume some of us, or you, or me, or whatever, have picked up some team of the weeks as well, have we?
Well, I don't know what you mean.
When you say our total score, what do you mean?
So our total fantasy score at the minute, our total points.
I see. So right, you mean the 123 and your...
So you got 123 and I'm on 93.
Right. Yeah, so you're right. I think I probably should do that. What I'll do is I will put that next week next to the game week. You know, obviously I've got Chewy and Jakey. I'll put it the opposite side, so you can see our totals as well. I mean, I've only got 123, and it looks like somebody somewhere in the world got 123 points this fucking week. So that is mental. But yeah, I haven't actually made any subs at all this week, Jakey. So I don't know whether you have or not.
Because I'm going away and I've got probably limited access to the internet, I have already made a change to my team.
Mate. So yeah, my problem is this week, mate, is I'm not so bothered about changing anything. I'm quite happy because I think that I'm still going to pick up points this week. Mine's the captain, man. I'm stuck of who to put as my captain, and it's between Lukaku and Chicharito, and I just don't know which one to do. So
I always have a look at who the teams are playing.
I know, yeah, and which is what I have done, and it's really a difficult one this week because of the team that I've got. So yeah, obviously
Man United are playing Leicester and West Ham are playing Newcastle.
And as much as I think Newcastle's got goals in them, I do believe West Ham will beat them this week. It's just whether or not Chicharito is going to get a goal this week, you know. I don't know. It's tough for me. It's tough for me this week. I don't know who to put as my captain, if I'm honest. But yeah, all in all, fantasy football, it's only 2 games in. Again, this is like our little prediction scores, mate. This can change in a week. I could all of a sudden score 20 points and you could end up getting fucking 50. Do you know what I mean? And that'll put you like well above me. So there's plenty more weeks to go on this. I tell you what I do like though. My Schindler, mate, for Huddersfield, I think he's picked up 15 points on his own for me so far this season, which is absolutely brilliant. So I'm happy about that. It's just my goalkeepers that let me down, but hey, I'm sure
got 2.
I've done that on purpose, really. But they do get a point every 5 or 10 saves, I think, mate, which is why I think Button's probably got the 11 there. Yeah, because he had.
And they get stuff for a clean sheet. They get 5 for a clean sheet.
So obviously, looking at the highlights that I just seen, it's no wonder Button scored 11 this week, which is very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Ritchie only got 1. It's a shame because that doesn't really reflect how well Matt Ritchie played. That's the only thing about this game is it is only on those that do something, you know.
Do they measure how much influence they have on the game as well?
No, nothing, mate. It's literally just on assists, clean sheets. I think your midfielders still get points for clean sheets, and obviously assists and goals. So you're good at picking. You're good, or should I say, correct in picking sometimes a midfielder because they can pick up a lot of points, especially with a clean sheet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously onwards and upwards. I've made no changes this week. Sounds like Jakey's made 1 or 2. So. Have you made any transfers, Jakey?
I've made one transfer. I've made a few substitutions.
So yeah, Jakey's made a transfer. I've kept my transfer this week in the piggy banks. I think that'll probably be okay anyway. But yeah, so that's the fantasy this week. Booty booty boom. Chewy's still winning, which is happy days.
The Flatspace says he's got 164 points on Sky Sports.
I think the Sky Sports one's slightly different to this one. I think, as far as I remember, mate, I used to score quite high on Sky Sports because I don't think that you need to pick subs, if I remember rightly. So you get like 50 million, I think it is, or something like that, to spend on players, and the valuations are a lot lower for certain players. I can't remember entirely. I'm not a massive fan of the Sky Sports one. That's why I tend to play this one. I prefer this one. I find this one's a little bit more difficult because
this is the only one I've actually.
Well, this one's a little bit more difficult in my opinion because you have to have the bench as well. So you've really got to think about what you're doing, and then obviously you've got to think about the order in which you want your bench to be swapped in and stuff like that. Whereas I don't think Sky Sports does that.
You've also got to think the right time to use
wild cards and all.
Your books,
I mean, I don't have a clue when I'm going to bloody use them. I mean, that would literally, I'd have to go through all the fixtures for the remainder of the season just to find out.
I was tempted to use my triple captain, but hey,
could you imagine that?
I mean, imagine if I'd done that.
I'd have been long gone. So yeah, that's fantasy football this week. Onwards and upwards for me and Jakey. I think we're both enjoying it this season. I think because of this show, we're really getting into it, which is good. And hopefully, it will still be the same by the end of the season this season, and maybe both of us will actually do really well in fantasy football for a change. Because I always bin it off halfway through the season. Well, not bin it off, but I forget. Obviously, this is not going to let me forget. Okay, so we're going to finish up with this week's predictions, Jakey.
This week's predictions, I've forgotten what I've done, so I need to find them.
Get them up, because obviously you'll be saying your ones. Okay, so our week 3 predictions. So obviously in order of play. So there is no Friday games. There's no early. Is there any earlies? I don't think there's any earlies this week, is there?
Early one? I don't know.
The Saturday.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but I think there's because there's 4 on the Sunday this week. But anyway, first one, Bournemouth versus Man City. I've gone 2-0, Jakey.
I have gone 3-0.
City wins. Crystal Palace. Obviously, that for me, mate, is just I think Bournemouth have been pretty average this season so far.
That was my same thing.
My score there.
I'm hoping City might actually kick on.
Well, I think so are City fans. Crystal Palace versus Swansea. I've gone for a 2-1 Crystal Palace.
I got 1-0. I don't think either team's really. I mean, I saw Palace had shown up, but I don't think either team really.
No, I think Palace are looking better than Swansea at the moment. I don't think the 4-0, like I say, the 4-0 Man United scoreline doesn't really give Swansea enough credit, I don't think, in the majority of that game. But I think that Palace have probably got more about them than Swansea at the moment. That's why I've gone for a slender Palace win. Huddersfield versus Southampton. I've gone for a 2-0 Southampton.
I have gone 1-0, and I think that's just because Huddersfield, they've looked pretty decent. Southampton had a good game against West Ham. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, this is one of those games that's very tricky because I've gone for a Southampton win. Just because obviously they pumped 3 past West Ham, and I think West Ham are a better side than Huddersfield. However, the ultimate factor is Huddersfield are at home. So, I mean, this could quite easily go either way. So, yeah, there's the first different result for me and Jakey. Anyway, so Newcastle versus West Ham. Believe it or not, we've both gone for 2-0. So we both believe that West Ham are actually going to pick up their first 3 points of the season this week.
Yes, I think so. I think West Ham looked fairly decent against Southampton, and as we say, they were quite unlucky. And Newcastle haven't really been at the races yet.
They've looked like they can get there, they just haven't quite kicked off, have they? So Watford versus Brighton. I've gone for a 1-0 win for Watford.
I was actually surprised by what I went with. I had to look down to see my predictions, but I've got 0-0.
I generally believe that Watford are.
I don't know. I think I've got hope in Brighton. I've got hope in Brighton, maybe holding out on Watford.
See, the thing is, I think it's going to be much the same for Brighton. Though I think that they're going to actually go out and attack Watford because I mean they've got to try and pick up points somewhere. I just think Watford will be too good for them. I really do. We'll see.
Yeah, so I will admit I'm surprised with that one. I definitely have to double check. I don't know why I did that.
So Manchester United versus Leicester. I've gone for a 4-0.
I got 3-1. I don't think another 4-0 was possible.
Behave yourself, Jakey. Man United only know how to win 4-0. That's why I've gone 4-0. They don't do anything in halves. You know what I mean? Man United only go 4-0.
I've gone for another 4-goal match with Man United.
So Chelsea versus Everton. I've gone for a slender Chelsea victory of 2-1. Also, have you, Jakey?
I have as well. Yes. I don't know. I was thinking maybe Everton looked quite strong against City, but again, City didn't really.
But again, though, Chelsea
do much
the same, mate. I don't think they're great at the back. I think Everton are obviously proven that they've got enough about them. I mean, if they're drawing with City, mate, they've got enough about them to be challenging against these top 6 clubs, you know? So, especially with the defensive issue problems of these top 6 clubs. So, I think a slender victory for Chelsea, but I don't think Everton are going to make it easy for them. West Brom versus Stoke. I've gone for a score draw of 1-1.
I've gone 1-0 Stoke. I know West Brom won both the games so far, but Stoke looked pretty well. They looked well defensively against Arsenal, and Hesse looked really good going forward.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point. To be fair, I see where you're getting at. I think that they're both very similar teams, aren't they? West Brom and Stoke. I think Stoke's probably got the better of the two sides, especially with Hesse coming in and Butland being fit. But for me, it seems like West Brom can do nothing else but at least get a goal a game at the moment. So that's why I've gone for the score draw.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Arsenal. I've gone for a 4-2 victory for Liverpool.
I've gone 1-1. I think it's going to be a draw. Both teams haven't looked the best this season so far.
My reasoning for the 4-2 is literally every time we go to Anfield, the games are ridiculously high scored. I think last season it was 4-3. I think that Liverpool, because of our defensive issues, well, I say defensive issues, because of our issues of putting left backs at fucking centre half, I think that a Liverpool team, considering we've played a Leicester and a Stoke team so far, that let's be fair, going forward aren't as good as Liverpool. I think that there's going to be a lot of goals in this game because Liverpool's defence is shite and all. So I think that both teams have got goals in them. I think that Liverpool will be that a little bit too much for us, though, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So Spurs versus Burnley. I've gone 2-0 to Spurs.
I've gone 3-0 to
I can't
Spurs.
see Burnley doing anything against Spurs, to be honest, mate. Although Spurs obviously picked up their first defeat this week, it was to Chelsea in all fairness. I think that they'll have too much about them for Burnley, to be honest. I think Burnley will do their typical, oh shit, we're playing a top 4 club, let's sit behind the ball and try and counter attack them. But obviously with Spurs, very, very quick back 4 or 3, whatever they decide to play. I don't see Burnley posing too much of an issue to Spurs, to be honest. If it was Arsenal versus Burnley, it probably wouldn't be a 2-0. I think that Burnley would at least get a goal, but I think that Spurs are definitely better than Arsenal at the back at the moment. So that's the reason for 2-0 to Spurs.
Yeah, I've got 3-0. I think maybe Spurs get a couple more goals.
Yeah, fair one.
Maybe Kane will get his first goal in.
There you go. Look, Danny Boy's
in
just
August. 20 goals in 4 games at Anfield.
Hence my reason for a high-scoring game there. It's always a little bit more cagey at Emirates, but at Anfield, mate, it's mental, absolutely mental.
Yeah, because Anfield's got atmosphere.
It has, mate. To be fair, I mean, to be fair, Arsenal always seem to play well at Anfield. I mean, I remember when we did get beat off them 4-3, I didn't think that we were the worst team. I thought that a draw would have been fair.
Yeah.
But for the amount of goals, I mean, I think Firmino scored 2 in like 10 minutes or something like that. It was ridiculous. And then it just went on from there. I think it was 3-3 at one point, and then I think Joe Allen scored their winner. And I don't think he'd played all season.
Fair enough.
And he literally came on the little fucking whippet and smashed it in like literally 2 minutes to go or something stupid. I was fucking devastated.
They did say he is the Welsh Messi.
To be fair, mate, I think he's fantastic. Watching Joe Allen for Stoke, Stoke so far this season, he is really, really good. I mean, he was very good against Arsenal on the weekend. He's so quick as well, mate. You don't expect him to be so quick. How old is Joe Allen? Because I'm sure he's in his 30s, isn't he?
I think he's... I don't know if he's that old.
Out comes...
I don't know. Let me just have a look. 27. 27.
Fair play. Yeah, I think that Joe Allen's having a good season so far. Harry Kane hat-trick would do my fantasy football a good turn. fair one, ad.
Have you still got him as your captain?
Neither Arsenal or Liverpool have had a defence in the last few seasons. Hence my high-scoring game of 4-2. 41 goals between Arsenal and Liverpool since 2013. 41 goals? That's ridiculous, isn't it? 10 games. 41 goals in 10 games. That is mental. So there you go, Jake. That's the reason for my high scoring. Your peasant 1-1 draw. How do you feel now? Yeah, I've got this in the bag, is what he's saying.
Mental with the goals last week. Yeah, that went a bit mental with the goals last week. So
yeah, I can see that, mate. I can see how you've and you've gone for a 0-0 draw as well, which none of us had last week. I still refuse to go for a 0-0 draw. Not the precious Premier League. But that's...
There wasn't one, though.
There wasn't one? There was one, did you say?
There wasn't one this week. There wasn't a 0-0 draw.
I don't think there has been one yet, has it?
There wasn't the first week, which I correctly guessed.
That's right, yeah, the Southampton game, wasn't it?
And I know Dan was giving us updates on the EFL Cup on any upsets, and I can only see 2 in here. One, Doncaster beat Hull 2-0. Okay. And then the other one, Bristol City beat Watford 3-2.
Well, that's a turnout for the books. Bristol City are on fire though this season. They are in the Championship, aren't they? Yeah, mate. They've scored a lot of goals. They smashed Plymouth in the 4-0, 5-0, something like that, mate. They smashed them, absolutely pummeled them, mate. So yeah, Bristol City have definitely got goals in them. I'm guessing they've had a bit of a money injection there because I mean, I've got to be honest, I've not actually looked at the tables at all for anything lower than the Premier League.
They're 11th. They're 11th for the minute. Scored 6, conceded 5 in 4 games.
Well, there you go. So scored 6. I'm pretty sure 4 or 5 of them were against Plymouth.
That's in the league.
Oh yeah, because it was a League Cup game. I believe.
In the league. Yeah.
How do I get
Yeah, it's the Carabo Cup or something, isn't it?
Championship. This has all gone a bit weird, isn't it? No, Champions League. No, I definitely don't want to look at Champions League. Arsenal ain't even in that. Champions League Championship. There we go.
First round.
So Cardiff are top at the moment. Oh yeah, because Wolves and Cardiff both were unbeaten, weren't they? With 100% records until this weekend. I remember seeing that. Cardiff beat them 1-0, didn't they?
5-0.
It was 5-0. I thought it was.
Bristol City. Yeah.
So Bristol City are 11th. Yeah.
Cardiff and Ipswich or so.
Cardiff and Ipswich top, both with 100% records.
Yeah.
So and Wolves have had a great start though, haven't they?
They got a lot of money.
They have got a lot of money, mate. They have got a lot of money. But yeah, good start though. Where's Villa? Because they were like bottom, weren't they?
In the past 5 seasons,
Where's Villa?
Bottom the cup in the first 2 games of it. I don't know.
Aston Villa 16th. Got 2 wins. 2 wins?
I think they won. I think they won the last couple of games.
I know they've only won 1 and drawn 1. How the fuck does that come to?
They only won
6
1.
points. Oh, that's not points.
4
My
points.
bad. 4 points. I was looking at goals.
6 goals scored.
Yeah. Dick. Only 1 win for Villa so far. They've done quite a lot of business as well. That's not good, is it? Not good at all. But
Who come down last season? Hull.
Hull went down. Where are they? Hull 14th.
Sunderland and Middlesbrough. Hull's 14th. Sunderland's 12th.
And Middlesbrough 9th.
And Middlesbrough's 9th.
They're not having a good start, are they? The ex-Premier League teams. I've got to be honest with you though, mate. I think it's going to be interesting because looking at that top 6 at the moment. I mean, I know they're only 4 games in, but looking at that top 6 at the moment, you've got Cardiff City. Obviously, have been Premier League not so long ago. Ipswich Town, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and Queen's Park Rangers. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I'd love to see Leeds and Nottingham Forest having and Wolves having such a long spell away from the Premier League come back up. That'd be pretty smart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at all those teams,
there's only one of them that. In fact, every single one of them's been in the Premier League, haven't they?
Apart from Burton, I think.
Oh, right. Right. I'm sorry. I thought you was on about the top 6.
Oh, sorry.
Brentford.
I was talking about the whole.
Burton. Right. Brentford, Burton. That's it, isn't it? Oh, Bristol City.
Bristol City.
Preston North End as well.
There?
So there's very few there, though. What's that? There's only like 4 or 5, isn't it? Jesus Christ, the Championship's a horrible league to be in. I'll tell you what.
That's why it always comes down to the wire every season.
There with that. I wouldn't even want to put Arsenal in there. Point end up game.
Well, I mean, that's why no team barely ever does teams come straight back up.
Yeah, fair one, mate. Why have you sent me your fantasy again? Oh, right, yeah, I'll keep that under wraps. We don't want to let people know. Oh, he's gone for a sneak. To be fair, though, mate, the one that you've changed needed to go, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, could have probably done getting rid of him this week. Anyway, that's all we got time for tonight, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it again. We have enjoyed doing it. I got to be honest, guys. There's only 4 of you watching right now, but I got to be honest. We will do this even if there is only 4 of you. At the end of the day, that's 4 of you that obviously want to stay in and watch this. So, and we're enjoying doing it as well, pretending that we're real life pundits. But yeah, that is all we've got time for tonight. We are obviously a day earlier. It will go back to Wednesday next week because obviously it's Tuesday this week. I tell you what, I did feel as though I did not have enough time to get through everything tonight. So one thing I will be doing though, Jakey, is watching Match of the Day early Sunday morning. I'm going to wake up for it. I'm definitely going to do that. I can't watch it in an evening because obviously my kids don't go to bed till 7. So I started watching it at like 6:30. Which was not good, really. Yeah. The only good thing is, hey, how you doing, Ash? I'm one of those 4. I popped in to say hi. That's all right, Ash. Welcome. It's when you look at the National League and you see there is like 15 ex-league teams. Adam, stop trying to make Torquay United's horrible start even better by trying to make it out as though they're now a Premier League team. Shut your dirty mouth. And yes, Danny Boy, you have been here since the start, which is much appreciated. Yeah, so we're going to make a move now. It will go back to Wednesday next week, guys. It's only Tuesday this week, just purely because Jakey's going off on a little Ollie Bobs, which probably he needs to start packing when he gets off from here. Oh no,
done
he's
that.
done his packing. There we
done
go.
that.
There we go. And Jakey, next time, can you remind me not to watch Match of the Day 2 and watch Match of the Day 1?
Well, you need to watch Match Day 2
Yes,
for the Sunday games.
I
but...
can't watch the rest of it because it's shit. So yeah.
They got to fill the hour somehow.
Yeah, well, it was shit. It was terrible. I mean, Jermaine Jenis, mate, got up out of his chair. I was like, where's he fucking off to? I wonder where he was off. Yeah, he was just going to a screen. He started drawing some pictures. He's a very simple guy, is Jermaine Jenis. Yeah, so that's all we've got time for this week, everybody. I'm glad that you stuck around. Thanks a lot for everybody that did tune in. And we will see you next Wednesday for more of Chewy and Jakey Talk Football.
Hey.
But for now, it is good night.